This is Quintez McDonald Gibson from Integrity Home Mortgage. Come join the winning team today.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Welcome to another edition of Chalk Talk with your host, me, JB. I'm here with Martinsburg's Coach Sherman. How are you doing, Coach?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for being here. We know that this week you're going into an old school rivalry. It may not be as much of a rivalry as it's been, but we know that Jefferson High is getting back on track, getting better. What's it like, playing the familiar foe, Jefferson, as you have over so many years?
Well, I mean, Jefferson to me is probably the biggest local rivalry because I've been here since '04. So when you guys were there and when you were playing and '05 and '07's the last local teams that Jefferson's the last local team that beat us in your year there in '05 and then '07. And so, to me, it is probably the biggest local rivalry. And, they always have a lot of athletes and they're tough.
Yeah, you mentioned that it's been a while, like since '07, since you guys have lost somebody in the area. What is it like each week going into the game, preparing your kids, to have that success that you've had for so many years? I mean, you look back just this year, Marshall beat Notre Dame. So people slip up and beat people every year. So what is the message to your kids every week to be prepared to continue the tradition?
Well, I mean, the good thing is that our kids know kids from other schools and they don't want to get beat by those kids regardless of how many years we beat them or any of that stuff. Some of these kids weren't born the last time we lost to some of the local schools. So, they don't even know that there's a Berkeley County trophy that's down here in our trophy case and, that kind of stuff. So, we remind them of that stuff, but they still don't want to lose to their buddies. And one thing with social media and things like that is now all these kids know each other. Back when I was in school, we may have known of or run into somebody at the mall or like that, but now they're all following each other. They all know each other. They, some of them train together, throw together, and, say like Shepherd's got, a lot more kids coming from the area down there. Ezra will go throw with some of those guys from Jefferson. And so they know each other a little bit more. So they don't want to lose to the kids that are their buddies anymore at anything, let alone football.
Yeah, going into this week, what does Jefferson bring to you that could be I'd say just a matchup problem on the offensive side of the ball that you may have seen but may have not seen throughout the year so far?
Well, I mean, athletically, they're probably top 2 or 3 teams that we're going to play, and definitely probably the top team so far in West Virginia that we played athletically, and speed and just their receiving core is really good, and also their secondary because those are the same kids. So that's impressed me a lot with them just watching them this week.
I've really been wanting to ask this question because, just being known a little bit about football, people say if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have any. But you guys have seemed to make it work 2 years in a row. What type of dynamic does it bring to your offense to be able to switch it up with 2 quarterbacks and still be successful every week?
Yeah, I mean, we have 2 really good ones. So I think sometimes when people have 2 quarterbacks that are fighting for a position, they have 2 that, maybe they don't want either one of them to be starters. So that's kind of where that's from. But we have two all-state quarterbacks. And, both of them are great kids, great players, and they're great teammates, and they root for each other. We've tried to get the best 11 offensive players on the field, so we moved Murphy around a little bit. And, but, Ezra's an all-state quarterback, and he's a surgeon when it comes to our passing game and has great leadership skills. So, we have to have both those guys in the game as much as we possibly can. And, we talked at the beginning of the year, wish we could play with 2 or 3 footballs because of the talent that we have, but you just can't do that. And you go into a game like last week where we don't have very many offensive plays. It's hard to get it spread around.
Yeah. And let's just transition to the defensive side of the ball because we know, defense wins championships and Martinsburg is traditionally known to win championships. So just going into the week, who's a key guy? Maybe give me 2 that can be, somebody to watch for on the defensive side of the ball for you guys.
Well, one guy was starting the back end and Jameer Hunter And Jameer is more of an offensive type guy. I mean, he'll tell you he's more of an offensive type guy, but the buy-in that we've had from him because of some injuries the last couple of weeks has been really, really good. I mean, he's taking coaching and he's kind of stepping out of his comfort zone to be a defensive player, and had a couple big interceptions for us 2 weeks ago. And he's really coming on really strong there in the back end. And then, on the front end, I want to talk a little bit about EJ Hendricks. He was injured at the beginning of the year. I thought he was going to be our best two-way lineman coming into the season, and had some injury trouble at the beginning of the year. But, now he's come in, and the rest of those guys are doing a great job up front too. But, he's come in last game and kind of gave us a spark to really stop Spring Mill's offense.
Well, guys, I want to wish you the best of luck going into this week, and a healthy exit for both teams involved. Because before you leave, I really want you just to talk a little bit about something, because when you think of Martinsburg football, you think about championship, you think about athletes, you think about winning. But I personally know that you have something called character ed. And I just want you for just 1 second just to talk a little bit about your character ed and what you guys do as a staff to create men leaving Martinsburg High School. So to know that it's just not about football, but it's also about building young men.
Yeah, and that's, when I took this job, and Coach Walker's instilled it even before that, but it's all about player development. And when we talk about player development, it's not just football development. It's personal development, academic development, spiritual development, and just try to make them the best men they can possibly be. Tuesdays we have a devotional that's completely voluntary, that it's a Christian devotional now. Matt Miller is leading it. I know you've led it in the past, and we've had a great group of guys that have led that. When we don't have those guys, Coach Roach or myself or Coach Jenkins can lead that as well. And then we do like a little competition Wednesday, a little team building exercise on Wednesday. And then on Thursday before we eat team dinner, which, I think that's a big team building thing for us as well, that we're fortunate enough to have team dinner, and Cracker Barrel sponsored our team dinners this year. And it's been really great because we haven't had to beg, borrow, and steal people to get our team dinners in. But we do a character ed every Thursday before that team dinner. And it's either about social media or about respecting women, or, about recruiting process, and just the things that they need to know to further them in life and as an athlete and a person.
Hey, well, I just wanted to shine light on that, because I got personal experience with that. And I just wanted people to know that it's not always about just winning football. But Coach, as I said before, we wish you the best of luck. Here at Home Team Sports, we want to see our kids succeed both on and off the field. And I think you do a good job of doing that at Martinsburg. And we look forward to airing you guys and just broadcasting you guys on Friday night.
Well, we appreciate the coverage, and I think you guys are doing a great job. And thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome to another edition of Chalk Talk with me, your host, Josh Brown. I have Coach Craig Vernon Hunter of Jefferson High School sitting at 5-2. And welcome back, Coach. It's good to have you here at Home Team Sports.
Why are you giving my full government name?
Hey, Coach, it be like that sometimes, man. How you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Coach. Like I said, you guys are 5-2 sitting. Last time I talked to you, you were right on the playoff cusp, on a 16-17 looking in. But now you guys are in good position. So how important, how big is this week's game going in against Martinsburg?
It's a huge game. If we can get a win against Martinsburg, we'll get the bonus points that Martinsburg has. They can surge us up into the playoff rankings. Also, it's a big EPAC game. So, all the way around, it's a big game.
So I spoke to Coach Sherman, and I was talking about, the Martinsburg-Jefferson rival. It really hasn't been a rival lately, but he spoke that it's still a rivalry, that it's still Martinsburg and Jefferson. And you guys were the last team to beat them back in 2007. So what is it like going up to play Martinsburg every year? Is it still in the Jefferson High hallways, that Martinsburg and Jefferson rivalry? Is it still there for the kids today?
Yes, I think the rivalry is still there for the kids today, mainly because a lot of these kids have played against each other coming up through the Major League system. So that rivalry is still there because they know each other. They want to beat each other. So the rivalry is still there, although some of these kids more along the lines than when you played at Jefferson, there was no other high school in Jefferson County. So now there is another rivalry blooming that bloomed up with Washington, but there's still a little bit of rivalry there between Martinsburg and Jefferson, yes.
And he brought that up about how the kids they played against each other, so it's still there. My question to you is, it's been since 2007. Since you guys beat Martinsburg. So going into this game, what are you going to have to do to snap this streak of, consecutive losing games against Martinsburg? Because you guys are right there neck and neck, schedule-wise, record-wise, and, what is it that you can do to get over the hump?
We're going to have to play extremely well. We're going to tackle well in this game. Pursue the football, make sure we get there. And then actually, Martinsburg's staple has always been their front six or front seven on defense. So we're going to have to make sure we can block them and keep short up and keep our quarterback standing tall in the pocket. Those are going to be the key things that we want to do to come out successful on Friday night.
Going into the game, is there anything that you think that Martinsburg presents offensively that you have to focus on going into this week?
I would say Martinsburg is a team that is going to present, I would say, the same amount of speed that we have. Mainly we see teams that have maybe one guy that might be fast, but they're going to have multiple guys. They're going to have the same speed that we have. They're going to be strong up front. They got somebody running the show back there, quarterback, who's a very smart guy back there who's capable of handling the offense and puts them in the right decisions a lot of times. So, that's going to be things that we got to deal with. It's going to be tough for us to deal with at times because the speed aspect of it is going to be a lot faster with them having four receivers that have speed. We're used to seeing just one sometimes, that we can probably lock one down and let the other guys handle the other guy. But now you got four guys, so everybody's got to hone in to the coverages that we're running, know exactly where everything's supposed to be, know where everybody's supposed to be, and be there where they're supposed to be and play assignment football. Everybody's just going to really pretty much do their job and not worry about everything else.
Do their job. That's I love this. We just do your job. Let's talk a little bit about your quarterback, because I know the last time we covered you guys had a little quarterback battle. Seems like you selected a quarterback and ran with him. How is his progression over the weeks going into this game?
It's been pretty well. His progression's gone pretty well. Dylan's only a sophomore, so it's gone pretty well. There's times in games and points in times in games where there's peaks and valleys, but he just seems like he's got a grasp of the offense. He's got a grasp for the game, mindset-wise and intellectually. running the quarterback position that I think he's done a pretty good job. Now we just got to make sure we keep a pocket clean for him Friday night to make sure we can have some success throwing the ball and doing the things we need to do Friday night.
And let's just, talk a little bit about the defensive side of the ball. Of course, you win and lose ball games. I really feel on the defensive side, who may be one impact player going into the game that may make a difference for you guys Friday night?
I don't know if we per se have one basic impact player. I think we have a group of kids who play well together. That I think is just one thing that's going to happen. I think we want to play together as a team and use our team aspect as far as trying to use our quickness, our size, and running to the football and tackling well. I don't know necessarily if there's one guy on our defense that's going to make a huge impact on us. I think it's going to be a collective group of guys together that's going to make that impact.
All right. I want to go back to the offensive side of the ball. Let's just talk about your receiving core again and how they've grown over the weeks to be prepared for a game such as this. There's going to be thousands of kids, thousands of fans in the stadium, more than normal, playoff atmosphere. And the heartbeat of your team is really your receiving core. How do you think they've grown over the week to be prepared for such a time like this?
I mean, they've seen everything before, so everything that's going to be thrown at them, they've seen before. These guys are veteran guys, or experienced guys, so they've been against Martinsburg before also. So they've seen the man-to-man press coverage that they may see on Friday night. They've seen that before. They've worked on making sure they got releases straight, ready to go, the right passing concepts to be able to possibly, if we need to get the ball quick, or just being able to do the things we need to do to let them guys be successful and help us try to pull off a victory on Friday night. It's going to be us trying to get the ball in the hands of our athletes and letting them do work instead of us trying to do, as coaches, trying to do too much. So just get the ball in the hands of your athletes, your playmakers, and let them do work.
Well, Coach, we appreciate it. And here at Home Team Sports, we love broadcasting, and we wish you guys the best of luck going into the game. What we always say, we love to see our kids succeed both on and off the field. And we'll be there Friday to share, the experience, the Martinsburg, Jefferson, the rivalry, the feeling. It's going to be great. So we'll be there to check you guys out.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Meet Cheryl Yates at ERA Liberty Realty. With over 30 years of experience, Cheryl provides each of her clients with the best level of customer service, along with helping families with the next phase of their life. The buying and selling process comes natural to Cheryl, as her understanding of the housing market allows her the ability to answer any questions that may arise. With offices in both Jefferson and Berkeley counties, she works hard to ensure the outcome you deserve. Cheryl is the key to selling or buying your home.
From Home Team Sports TV. Joining me,
we're back.
All State.
We're back.
Quarterback for the Martinsburg High School, Brandon Ashenfelter. We are broadcasting live from Jefferson High School, where we have the 5-2 Jefferson High School Cougars versus the 5-2 Martinsburg Bulldogs.
Should be a good game.
One of the biggest rivalries in the Eastern Panhandle.
Yes, sir.
It's definitely something that the community deserves. Definitely something that the community loves. And what they say, we're gonna give you what you want.
Hey, I think these kids are ready to put on a show. Like you said, for the community, that's what they want, and that's what these kids are gonna do. I know you and I talked about it. There's athletes everywhere. I think they're going to put on a show. You know, these coaches are going to do a good job of getting the ball in the hands of these athletes, and you know, like we just said, letting them put on a show for these fans and all the people watching at home, obviously.
And that's what home team sports is about, to be able to allow the community, not only in the Eastern Panhandle, but around the country, to be able to see the type of talent that we have in the Eastern Panhandle. So I want to first thank our staff at Home Team Sports TV. Obviously, we have our commentators, Akeem Holmes and Brandon Ashenfelter. And thank you, Brandon, for joining us once again. We have the producer, Harry Brown, his assistant, Junaidi Amir Ahmed. We have Shalika Jacobs upstairs for the overlay that allows you guys to see the score, first down, the time, flags. I was definitely grateful for that. And Kevin Brewster on the main camera. And my niece, CC Holmes, Sierra Holmes, doing the field camera. We
field
really
shots.
Appreciate you guys so much for being a part of Home Team. Today's title sponsor, Neil Powell at Down Home Insurance. Stay in the game with Neil at 202-431-6896. Sunday's Tanning is your first 24-hour all-access tanning salon in the Eastern Panhandle with 2 convenient locations, located in Shepherdstown at 7670 Martinsburg Pike and in Martinsburg at 1440 Winchester Avenue. Visit Sunday's Tanning or call 888-SUNDAYS, spell SUNDAZE. Key Property Management. Contact Key Property Management for all your residential management needs. Management is the key. 304-995-9764. VFW Post 3522, offering a college scholarship if you win the essay contest. Topic of the essay is, why is our military important? HG's Barbecue and Soul Food and Catering. Food is amazing.
It is.
Football season is here. Instead of handling the tailgating yourself, let HG's Barbecue and Soul Food Catering do one. McDonald Gibson at Integrity Home Mortgage. Chris Page at Quality Lawn Care at 443-240-8498. L&L's Handyman Services at 304-820-2137. Money Mart Training, 304-671-5550. We have Catro Law, 304-579-1211. Cheryl Yates, amazing, at ERA Liberty Realty. Shelton's Tree Services. Shelton's Tree Service is a family-owned and operated business for over 20 years. We treat every customer as family and guarantee customer satisfaction. The phone number is 304-262-4105 for a free estimate. Give them a call. Our handyman at 681-283-0299. And B Attitudes Hair and Beauty Supply, 304-263-2828. And that excites me to be able to go down those sponsors and see that the sponsorship for Home Team Sports TV is continuing to grow.
We have said it before, and we'll say it again. You literally can't do this without them. Yes. They make it possible for us and for the community to have this, different avenue, obviously.
Yes.
But, hey, I'm excited for this game. I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
I'm so excited for this game. Brandon, I'm excited to do this with you.
Yeah, we're back again.
And it's funny because, like we talked about it when we were doing the Jefferson-Sharando game, just how much, this is a rivalry.
Of course.
But, when the rivalry is over, we all graduate and we talk about these games. It's so much fun. And it's just funny just how much love there actually it is in the community.
Man, and that's the thing. After this game, whoever wins, the community is always going to be there. The Eastern Panhandle, we're all together, of course. Yeah, we're together.
And this is the 48th time.
Yeah, man,
and that playing against each other.
Man, 48th time, Keem. 34-13 overall record, Martinsburg.
Yes. So I was talking to Coach Smith, and he said before the 2000s, Jefferson went off on a streak where they won like 10 straight.
Man.
But since 2000, Jefferson has only beaten Martinsburg twice.
Twice? Is it twice?
Twice.
I know 07 was the last one.
I would say 07 and 2005.
Man, I know that 07 game. I was a young kid. I was sitting up in the bleachers, and I saw it. 30-0, I believe the final score was. And I know that hurt, but even Coach Sherman touched on that in the interview. He said, like we talked about, he said this is the rivalry. This is obviously the football rivalry here. Athletes, we talked about it as well. The offensive and defensive line, that's where this game's got to be won at. So, we've got the captains at the center of the field. Let's see who gets this coin toss, Keem.
And the big thing for Martinsburg is they get one of their star wide receivers back,
Roman Pearson. I forgot about that. Yeah, he'll be back, and I think he will be hungry, Keem. I think that's a kid that you need to watch. He's been out for a while. He's been sitting and watching. And I've been in his shoes before, and you build up a hunger just sitting there watching and not being able to play. So I think he's going to have a great game being his first game back.
Yeah, and I talked to his father a few times, especially after these kids were visiting camps during the summertime. And he was really excited about this season. So for him to have that injury and have to be able to sit out in such a big year for him and his recruitment, you definitely want to see him be able to bounce back.
Of course.
And be productive to potentially get that scholarship that he's
seeking. He's a competitor, and I know that there's a school out there that could use a kid like him. He even bounced back pretty fast from, I believe it was a collarbone injury. So those aren't, a little injury to worry about. So, but I think he's going to bounce back and show everybody what he can do.
And that right there, triggers a family memory. We were playing football in the front yard, and we tackled my brother Jawan, who's actually one of the founders of Home Team Sports TV, and Jawan broke his collarbone.
Oh man!
And I'm gonna give him respect to show the level of toughness that he had. He actually went to sleep with the broken collarbone and woke up, and it was like at an angle. His whole shoulder was at an angle. And we had to take him to the hospital, for him to be able to have, the surgery to get that fixed. Man. But when I heard collarbone, I just knew how serious that injury is,
and
especially playing football.
Yeah, and he's a type of kid too that, and football even is a contact sport, obviously. So you're using your shoulders a lot. So for you to do something like that and come back and still have that mental toughness to still play your game, because he's a kid that likes to hit, So we're going to see, how mentally tough this kid is coming back off an injury, and just seeing him out there to see if this injury is going to affect the way he plays now.
And Jefferson defers.
Yes.
So they would kick off first. So we will get to see how this Jefferson defense stacks up against Martinsburg early. And, Brandon, what I want to see is how physical this Jefferson defensive line is and how they can stop the running game of Martinsburg, because Zion Grantham
has
really come on
yes.
Over the last couple weeks.
And it looks like we've got number 7, that's Avion Blackwood, and number 10, Jameer Hunter, back to receive the kick.
And that was a beautiful kick by the Jefferson kicker.
Number 81.
And see, the extra point is kicked by Jonathan Pineros. With number 81 is Alejandro Martinez.
He's got a strong leg.
He has a very
strong leg.
Very strong leg.
And here we go, Martinsburg with Ezra and Murphy both on the field at the same time, which is a good sign for them, obviously. Murphy Clement's not a kid that you don't want on the field. So
I've seen him in the slot a lot during the warm-ups.
And Sherman's been getting both of them on the field. Obviously, due to injuries, Murphy obviously needs to help them out at receiver. But I just like seeing them both on the field at the same time as well.
So we see an early penalty on Martinsburg as a false start. And the formation, they came out in a spread formation. They sent Clement in motion.
Yes.
And
you see a lot of that.
It's a lot of eye candy.
Yes.
A lot of eye candy. Murphy has had some dominant games against some big-time competition.
Yeah.
So you're naturally going to be able to stay focused on him, and that creates for others.
You have to stay focused on him, Keem, and then that also just lets the quarterback know, okay, if I have somebody going in motion with him, they're in man. It looks like a miscommunication from what I can see.
So the early jitters and excitement about this game Some would say this is definitely 2 to 3 best teams in the Eastern Panhandle, with Musselman being included as well. So you definitely have to play with these emotions because honestly, these are the teams, especially when you go rec league and you're playing middle school, they're paying attention to what each other has coming up.
Of course,
being prepared for what talent level they may have to focus on.
Oh yeah, and all these kids know each other too, King.
Yes.
Social media now. You can talk to each other and not even be in the same town anymore.
So it'll be 1st and 20, Martinsburg, with 11 minutes and 57 seconds left.
Not too many plays in your playbook for this.
Handoff.
Looks like Ezra took it.
Ezra Bajan, and Ezra is tackled after a 1-yard gain.
Looks like another penalty as well, and got some extracurricular here.
And these kids are ready today.
Oh, well, and we're not going to see any dirty play, Keem, but I think we're going to see a lot of kids playing to the whistle tonight. And
it looks like
on Jefferson,
they have Quentin Goins playing linebacker.
Yes. I said something to you about that. I saw him in warm-ups actually warming up on defense, and then he was taking some wide receiver reps as well. So
that was a 15-yard face mask on Jefferson High School, and it'll be 1st and 5. And that is big.
Oh,
because they had Martinsburg.
You just gave it back
1st and 20.
Yeah.
You just gave them back both those penalties.
Well, and see, that's stuff that you can't do against Martinsburg. And do we have another?
And what we're seeing right now as well is the game's emotions.
Oh,
have an impact. And I wonder if that impacted Craig wanting to go on defense first, because handling emotions is a lot easier on the defensive side of the ball than it is on the offensive side of the ball.
Of course, and him deferring too, if your defense stops them, that gives you all the momentum in the world.
And right now we have the sophomore Tayshawn Roper against Jameer Hunter one-on-one.
He's going to have a big matchup tonight. We've got a wide receiver screen to Buzz Dozier.
And that's
he runs hard, but
that's good game tackling by Jefferson High School. And initially,
that's 7 hats on the ball right there.
The first 3 plays, Jefferson's defense has been strong.
Yeah. If they don't have that penalty, they're going, probably 3rd and maybe 16, something of that nature. So, hey, Martinsburg, you can't give them plays like that. You can't make those penalties. So,
and Martinsburg has gotten out of the spread.
Yeah,
they actually have tight formation with Zion Grantham in the backfield. And they send the pitch, and Zion loses his footing and is tackled for a gain of 1 yard. And it will be 3rd and 4 from Martinsburg at the Martinsburg 29-yard line.
Yeah. So
with 10 minutes and 43 seconds left, this is a big down for Jefferson, especially when it comes to field position.
And I see they have Quentin Goins playing nose tackle, King. If I'm not mistaken, right? Isn't that him?
And you have an offsides that would give Martinsburg the cheap first down.
Man, and one thing about Martinsburg is they're going to try to get those type of penalties. They're going to go silent count on you and see.
And the biggest thing for Jefferson High School, and we spoke about this multiple times in broadcasting their games,
Zion,
is discipline.
Ooh, good cut.
That's a really good cut by Zion Grantham, and that is a first down, Martinsburg.
And that's what he gives you, Keem.
So shifty.
He's shifty, and he's a type of kid that he's going to put his foot in the ground and get uphill. He's been doing that since a young age, and that's something that Zion brings to the table. So.
And I remember watching Zion West Packers.
Oh, well, I remember West Virginia Elite too. But.
Yes. And it'll be 1st and 10, Martinsburg at the 44-yard line of Martinsburg.
Another
penalty. Quick handoff, and it's another penalty. This game has been sloppy.
Man, emotions, obviously. They know, the kids on the field know this is a rivalry as well. They want to put on a show for people, so they need to get these jitters out, and they need to get them out quick, obviously, because penalties are affecting this game right now.
So for every 5 yards they go forward, they go 5 yards back.
And then hopefully Jefferson doesn't give them an easy another one. So.
And that's what Jefferson has to realize. When you're the underdog, you can't afford to make those same mistakes.
No, not at all.
So you have trips to the right side as Bajan looks.
3 steps
to the right side. You got pressure.
Oh,
and he is tackled by Nolan Meeline.
Another penalty.
And another penalty.
Man. Face mask. Yep. So they give it right back, Keem. So this is a game of penalties right now. I mean.
And like I said, the game has been extremely sloppy. So let's see if that's a 15-yard penalty right there.
I believe so.
It's actually a 5-yard
It's
penalty.
only 5. Okay. I
So
wonder who they called it on, number 17?
we've had 10 plays so far, and only 3 of those plays have gone without a penalty.
Man. And they're going to get their emotions in check. Let's see what Ezra, another handoff to
Zion Grantham. He is bottled up by this Jefferson defense.
Hey, they're playing hard. They are playing hard.
But the main focus is the line play.
Yes.
And so far, Jefferson's line play has been physical, it's been stout. Like you said, we already knew that matchup for athlete, Jefferson could match them. But let's see if Sherman continues, if he starts scheming.
He's
some plays open.
Another penalty.
And another penalty.
Man.
And I would not be shocked right now if one of these coaches call a timeout to settle their team down.
I think that it's time. Obviously, that's the 8th penalty we've had. So I think you need to go ahead and one of them call a timeout and just go ahead and say, hey, calm your nerves. We need to calm ourselves down and just play football. Because at the end of the day, that's all these games are. Yeah, it's a huge environment, but it's still the same game. You know, it's a game you know.
So it'll be 2nd and 17 with 8 minutes and 28 seconds left. So 4 minutes have almost gone by, and I think we've had 30 yards of
both
gain yards and 40, 50 yards of penalties.
Ooh, got to
guard the back. Got
to guard the back out of the outfield.
Oh, and he missed the tackle. Zion Grantham
is gone.
Yes,
sir.
And it would be
he
almost
got caught.
Touchdown, Zion Grantham. And he found the opening in the flats.
Yes.
And remember, we did that separate game against Lockhaven, and they continue to pound those flats. So the deflation of that play, after you've played great defense for 4 minutes, that's what Martinsburg can do to you.
Yeah, and that's where they hurt you. We talked about it in pregame. There's athletes everywhere. Martinsburg has them. Jefferson has them. So hopefully we see a lot of those big plays. But Keem, Roper, that's the type of play you love to see out of a kid like that because he did not give up on the play. I know they scored a touchdown, but if I'm a college recruiting coach, I love seeing kids like that.
Well, also as well, when you've seen his speed to be able to track down Grantham, what that bodes for is if Roper gets open on the offense in the open space, no one's catching him.
No. Well, and there's a couple kids on that sideline that it's the same way.
Isaiah Fritz.
Yes,
Spencer
Isaiah
Powell,
Fritz.
Keyshawn Robinson.
They all, Roper, we see him in track too, 100-meter, and he's topping the state in that as well. So I think we talked about it. They're going to put on a show, and I don't think Zion's long touchdown, it's not the last one. Either way.
And the thing about it is these kids are so talented to where they're, like you said, they're friends. So they're going to want to compete with each other.
You have to compete against your friends. It's bragging rights at that point. It's bragging rights.
And that's what the difference that social media has brought as opposed to like when we were growing up. When social media wasn't as big. You knew of people, but you didn't
Not
really
like you
know.
do now.
You didn't really
Not
know
like
them
you
like
do
that.
now, yeah. Keem, I like Goins. He's playing on everything, it looks like, you know. So the switch from quarterback to now kind of playing everywhere, it's looking good for him.
And hopefully, he finds a niche on offense because the way that he's built in his body. And what did you say?
Yeah, that's what Martinsburg does. That's what Martinsburg does.
And you said that before the game.
Yeah.
What you stated was that Sherman has a few onside kicks up his sleeve.
Hey, Coach Sherman, that's one thing that he takes pride in is his special forces, he calls them. Whether it be kickoff, kick return, he's going to try to give his offense more possessions. And that's how he does it through that phase of the game.
So with 12 plays, we had 8 penalties. Man. And Jefferson will actually start this possession on Martinsburg's side of the field.
Hey, that's a great possession.
Keyshawn Robinson in motion, i.e. like Murphy Clement.
And that's what Jefferson has to do is get him the football.
Any way necessary.
Yeah, you have to get your athletes the ball, and that's what Martinsburg does a good job of. Jefferson does a good job of it as well. But I think number 2 needs to touch the ball at least 12 to 15 times. Yeah, I think so. He has the speed that you just need to say, hey, here's the ball. Do what we know you can do with it.
And he has no defined position. He's an athlete. So he can play anything. You can put him in the wildcat.
Yes.
You can have him in the slot.
I like what they
did
did with
the
him
running
there.
back.
Yeah. Sending him in motion. See?
Hand off to
I like
Evan
it.
Toole. Evan Toole takes it physical.
Number 8 with the tackle.
So that'll be a gain of 2. So we will have a 3rd and 3 at the Martinsburg 43-yard line. And the thing about Evan didn't have a great game last year versus Martinsburg. So I'm looking to see Evan, play against that elite level of competition and bring it.
He is a competitor, so I think he's going to give everybody what they came to see as well.
So we have a 3rd and 3.
Yeah.
We have Dylan Herrick. We have trips to the right. He takes the handoff.
It's a good ball.
It's a really good ball.
See,
but that's a great tackle.
Good tackle by
Avion. Is that Blackwood?
Yeah, it's number 7. Yeah, Avion. Hey, he's an athlete too, man.
For him to be able to make that tackle in space, that's not an easy tackle.
Not at all, especially against an athlete like number 2.
Keyshawn Robinson.
Man.
So let's see if Jefferson tries to use maybe a dummy count to get a cheap 5 yards as IE's Martinsburg did.
Go ahead and do that, and you could even waste a timeout here and go ahead and call a timeout. Try to get him offsides, call a timeout, and make your decision whether you want to go for it and I would. So
and Jefferson take the timeout.
Yeah.
But I think that
looks
more
like
Keyshawn Robinson with a
he
slight
just
injury.
went down, saved him a timeout, but
that's things you learn.
Yeah, when you get older,
that's tricks and trades
yeah.
you learn and that wisdom gets in.
It's all meant. Hey, the game gets mentally tougher.
Yes.
It's the same game. It just gets mentally tougher as you go on. So.
And as you get older, you start to make those calls yourself. Like, okay, I can fall down right here, save this time out, get a little breather. We
never know.
We see that a couple times with quick tempo offenses.
Oh man.
Linemen
end of the game.
Linemen just fall to the ground.
Let me get my catch
a
a breath.
Cramp, get a little breather. So we will have a 4th and 4 at the Martinsburg 42-yard line when we come back. This is a big decision for Craig Hunter. He's sending out his starters again.
Yeah.
So he's not punting. I think both these teams know this is going to be a high-scoring game, and the points are going to be premium. So you have to be able to put points on the board.
Oh, of course. This is going to be an offensive game. We said it has to be one, obviously, up front, but these athletes are going to give you some points, of course.
And I'm looking for Isaiah Fritz right here.
This is what I'm looking for. I would even be opposed to maybe running the QB power or something here. Obviously, they get him try to jump. There you go. That's what you need. We have
a 5-yard penalty.
Yep, that's exactly what you need.
It's a false start on Jefferson.
No.
So now they will have to send out
the
you have punting unit.
Yeah.
And it was.
Was it?
It was Fritz.
I thought it was, man.
So the senior makes the big mistake.
Emotions. Again, we go back to the emotions.
But unfortunately, when you're playing against a team like Martinsburg, you can't beat a team that makes mistakes.
No. It looks like Goins is going to go and punt, too.
It just shows you the talent of this kid.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he can do it all. He moved from quarterback. Now he's doing everything else. Oh, see, this is where Martinsburg beats you. Oh, he's going. That's first down. First down, Keem. Man.
But that's what also happens when you have an athlete back at punter.
These soccer kids make good punters, but then, like you said, if you put an athlete back there, he gives you that different type of look. Yeah. And that's a great run by him, man. Great run.
And Wildwood has that with Kari Yates.
Yes.
Kari Yates is the punter for Wildwood. So if things break down and you have those athletes, they don't panic.
No.
They don't try to panic and just punt the ball, get it blocked.
Yeah.
They know that they have the athletic capabilities to be able to make a play.
And that gives you a lot of momentum to Martinsburg shut you down, go into 4th, and then you make a big play like that on the punt. It's a good ball.
And it's a screen pass to Spencer Powell. Spencer Powell with a physical run, and it'd be a gain of 5. And with both offensive possessions, you had your penalties, but you also had those big plays that extended drives that has allowed both teams to be able to get deep into the territory of the opposing team.
And I obviously, we've talked about Spencer Powell before, but he's another kid that maybe right now, Keem, I'm going to take a shot with him because he's a kid that obviously is one-on-one over there. I'm going to give him a chance. 6'4".
And that's what I was just about to say.
Oh, goodness.
Just
throw it away, young man. Throw it away.
This might be intentional grounding, but was he out there? I don't know if there's outside the pocket.
I'm not sure if he was or not.
But
I think that. I don't know, Keem.
I was about to say to you that Martinsburg is playing without a safety.
Well, in Martinsburg's been doing a lot of that cover zero. They're just going to say my athletes are better than yours, and it's against Highland Springs. Obviously, it didn't work out so well because their athletes were elite. So, but Martinsburg does that. Obviously, have been for the last couple years. Another bad snap
and 2 straight plays with a quarterback.
Aiden Fleming.
The ball.
Aiden Fleming, great player.
But those are 2 plays. You got to control your emotions as well, especially as a quarterback. You know, you have 0 coverage.
You're gonna have to punt it again.
And your excitement to make a play. You know, it was a little too much. And you got to relax because you can't at the high school level. You can't afford that.
Man, you just said it. You just said it. I think all these players just need to relax at this point. You know. At this point, your pre-game jitters and them first snap jitters, they should be gone.
Yes.
It's time to play football.
You've been hit.
Yeah, it's time to play football.
You made a few passes. Now you got to rock.
Uh-oh.
And the punt by Goins.
That's not a bad punt.
It's actually not a bad punt at all. It'll be actually inside the 10-yard line. And that's what you want, the angle punt.
Yeah.
And you don't want Jameer Hunter.
Oh, you don't want an athlete like that.
You don't want an athlete like Jameer Hunter.
He's going to touch the ball enough, so I wouldn't kick it to him too much.
It's the same that Sherman will feel the same way against Jefferson with Keyshawn Robinson and Isaiah Fritz. You don't want to give up a cheap touchdown to an elite playmaker.
Might as well kick it away from him. Don't even give him a chance.
You want to see them be able to drive the ball down the field methodically like they forced Jefferson to do right there, and just hope that you don't make a mistake.
Yeah.
Because essentially those 2 mistakes by the quarterback in that last possession ended a promising drive.
Yeah. Well, and Keem, right here, I think Jefferson needs to go ahead and put some pressure on him. Obviously, you're at the 6-yard line. Zion.
And then hand off to Zion. And arm tackling.
That's what you need right there.
Arm tackling is not going to be sufficient versus strong.
No. He gets downhill.
He gets downhill.
And he's stout.
But let's also put a little bit of shine on the weight room.
Oh. He's a weight room kid.
He's a weight room kid.
He is a weight room kid.
Zion
he
may
really
weigh
is.
140 pounds soaking wet, but it's 140 pounds in the weight room, and he has that strength and that low center of gravity.
Yeah. See, we got Ezra dropping back to pass. He's
and
open.
He's wide open.
Oh, he dropped it.
Actually.
Oh, good defense.
That was great defense by Isaiah Fritz. And Isaiah is a wide receiver by trade, but he showed great cornerback instinct.
Man.
But there's a flag on the play. It looks like it's going to be a holding on Martinsburg. So, this first quarter, Jefferson has competed very, very well with Martinsburg. Now, Musselman did as well for the first half. So, let's see if this continues. But Craig Hunter has done an amazing job getting his team ready for this game.
Well, unfortunately, throughout the season so far, neither one of these teams have really been first half teams. They're second half teams. They usually pick it up in the second quarter, so I mean they're out there competing, so we can't ask for anything more right now.
So it will be a second down after a holding penalty on Martinsburg, and once again,
Coach Sherman looks like he's sending in the big boys, gonna just try to get some yards back.
And once again, Martinsburg has shot themselves in the foot, and you have.
It's been a lot of that in this game.
You have second and 17. And how much of that, Brandon, is Sherman just being a little bit frustrated with the offense and the discipline of the offense so far?
Well, and I think both coaches, Coach Sherman especially, right now, all these penalties, I mean, you're not happy with your offense. You can't be. It looks like Zion got, 6 yards
Gaining
back?
3 or 4.
Yeah.
So you will actually have 2nd and 8, and you will see their skill players come back out on the field. So it'll be third and 8. My apologies. It will be 3rd and 8. With 3 minutes and 8 seconds left in the first quarter. And this is big for Jefferson. They cannot allow them to get their first down. You want them to punt, be able to get good field position, and be able to get that touchdown on the board and tie this game up.
Yeah, I mean, they need to stop right here. They need to get a stop, and Martinsburg has to punt it. Let's see what they can do.
You have trips to the right, Ezra Bajan back in the pistol. Pressure
Goins.
by Quentin Goins.
Good
and
pass.
Another pass.
Good first down.
Another pass to
Good
the
pass,
flats. To Zion Grantham, and actually we may have a measurement. It looks like we're going to have it'll be a first down Martinsburg. And that
thought he got a pass. I thought he got past it.
But that is the intelligence of Zion Grantham.
Yeah.
Because he's seen his quarterback
in trouble. Turned it up, yeah.
And he actually went into that scramble motion, that scramble drill that we all talk about.
Yeah.
And he created an avenue for the quarterback because that's coverage down the field.
It was
Jefferson's
good.
locking him up.
Yeah, well, and that was a perfect pass by Ezra too. And looks like we got Murphy in here at quarterback now.
So we're gonna expect some quarterback runs right here, quarterback power.
He gives you that different look.
And that's a tackle by Jovan Gidney and Isaiah Fritz. Now, Gidney had an amazing game versus Sharando. He played very well against Musselman as well. Jefferson has been very physical on the line, and I want to give credit to Quentin Goins at defensive end because he
is
been
an
a
athlete.
game changer.
Yeah, he's been doing it all, and you love to see that in games like this.
Well, you love to see that a kid goes to his coach and tells him he's willing to play anything.
Got a little quarterback key.
And what you want to see from your linebackers right there, getting off the block.
Another penalty, King. You got another one. Holding on Martinsburg, I think.
So there's been a lot of dirty laundry on the field.
Man.
I would not want to be a fly in the room at halftime in Martinsburg's locker room.
It might be even worse at film on Monday, Keem, because they're going to tear them apart for all these penalties.
But in essence, the aspect and the most important aspect of this right now is this is late in the season. Both of these teams are firmly in the playoff hunt. Against the better teams in the state, neither team can play like they've played on offense.
No,
initially,
not at all,
and be able to win.
Well, and these defenses are both playing really well.
Yeah. So it'll be 2nd and 9 for Martinsburg.
Another quarter run by Murphy.
Good. And it is stuffed in the backfield, but the strength of Murphy come in allows him to get 3 more yards.
Those are plays you need to make.
But
you need to make those plays.
They're tackling way too high. You cannot tackle a strong running back by a shoulder pads. You have to hit him low. So it'll be 3rd and 5 for Martinsburg. Murphy Clement. And
Murphy's such a strong kid, too.
And an offsides on Jefferson. This has been a sloppy game.
Is that the 12th penalty?
This has been a sloppy game. Jefferson has given Martinsburg multiple first downs. And like I said in an earlier game, you have to get better.
Oh. Well, coaches are not going to be happy on Monday at film, and probably they need to run next week.
Yeah,
coach is going to make them run next week. And all these penalties.
And it's been essentially the same plays when Clement's been in the game. Quarterback power for 4 straight possessions. 4 straight plays. So
that's what you need to key on. You need to key on that, obviously.
But Murphy is a quarterback.
Oh, he can throw.
And he can throw the ball. So you don't want to fall asleep as well. And then he hit you over the top.
Well, and that's what Sherman sets you up for.
Exactly.
Murphy, like we just said, Murphy is not a bad quarterback, but he is a threat running too. Little creases like that, he's gone.
And he is gone.
He's gone. I don't know.
Tayshawn Roper has run them down again.
Man.
And a touchdown, Murphy Clement. And it's been 2 big plays from Martinsburg.
Big plays.
That have gotten them on the board. Touchdown Bulldogs. So the score is 13-0 with 38.3 seconds left in the first quarter. And we said you kept hitting him, and all he needed is that one seam.
Yeah.
And he was gone.
Well, and that's the different dynamic that he gives you at quarterback. He's so fast. Like we just talked about, he can throw, but his threat is running. He's a runner.
And I think the adjustment that Sherman made in that possession is Jefferson's athletes are locking Martinsburg's wide receivers down.
Let's go ahead and see what the lines do.
But the way they said, I'm going to attack you now, is I'm going to put my bigs in, and I'm going to run the ball, and eventually I feel like you're going to break.
Yeah. Jefferson really needs to get it to the end zone here.
Yes.
Put a good offensive possession together, because once you can't get Martinsburg's offense the ball back down 14-0.
You can't, but what Jefferson needs right now is a chunk play.
Oh.
They need that big play like Martinsburg is got. Martinsburg has 2 plays, right? They may have run 15, 16 plays. Yeah. 14 of those plays have been unproductive. But two plays have netted them 150 yards.
Yeah.
You have that 60-yard run right there.
Zion.
And was Zion's run more like 50 yards? So let me not exaggerate. It was more like 120 yards the last 2 plays. But those have been 2 chunk plays that have allowed Martinsburg to get on the board when their offense was moving at a very minuscule rate.
Well, Jefferson's doing a good job of just stopping their athletes from getting the ball. Ezra doesn't have time either. I mean, we've talked about Quentin Goins. He's putting on a show at defensive line. And it looks like they keep moving him around too.
He's playing
defensive
very well.
tackle.
Very well.
I mean, he's moving around.
So
and I expect Sherman to do something else, a bloop kick. Look,
once again,
just don't even touch it. Don't even touch it.
The ball has
penalty.
not gone 10 yards neither time. But if I'm Jefferson and I'm a Jefferson player as well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna feel slightly disrespected that you keep trying these onside kicks and giving me the ball at the 45-yard line in your territory, feeling like that I can't score on you.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what Martinsburg does, though. I told you before the game, they're going to try these onside kicks, bloop kicks. And that just goes to show what kind of athletes Jefferson has back there returning.
Exactly. So, right now, obviously we see 0 again. You taking that shot to Powell right now?
I mean, I would. You have to at some point.
If I feel like I have two
I would do
D1 caliber
wide receivers. He's got to throw it. He's got to throw it.
And he is sacked at the 46-yard line. So with 30 seconds left in the first quarter, we have Jefferson with the 2nd and 11, and really in a dire need to create an explosive play.
Well, and see, those explosive plays are going to come, but right there, I think he had Isaiah open quick just for a little 3 or 4 yard gain. Throw him that ball and see what type of athlete he is to just go ahead and turn that into a 50-yard gain or something of that nature.
And I think Jefferson's going to take this to the end of the first quarter. So
go ahead and talk about
quarter,
it.
We have Martinsburg leading 14-0 with Home Team Sports TV. We'll take a quick commercial break.
This is Quintez McDonald Gibson from Integrity Home Mortgage. Come join the winning team today.
Fifteen penalties in the first
quarter. How many
quarter.
yards?
I don't have the yardage yet, but we had 15 penalties in the first quarter. So we will start the second quarter. We are back at Jefferson High School. Akeem Holmes and Brandon Ashenfelter with Home Team Sports TV. Jefferson with the 2nd and 11, down 14-0.
Like we talked about, they really need to put an offensive drive together right here. Oh, my.
And another
is that on
penalty.
The center or?
A false start on Jefferson to be a loss of 5, so it would be 2nd and 16.
And if I'm correct, that's penalty 16?
Penalty 16. So we've had 16 penalties within the first 12 minutes of the ball game. And both of these teams, well, Martinsburg has been a disciplined team. Jefferson has been slightly undisciplined throughout the season, but
Martinsburg, they have those little penalties in games as well.
In a blitz.
See? And that's what Martinsburg's going to do to you.
But the blitz pickup, that a little bit comes on the quarterback to be able to set your line up and also be able to put your running back in a spot where he can pick up that blitzing linebacker because he came by free.
And you need to see your hot reads. Obviously, if they're going to send everybody at you, you don't have enough people to block all of them.
But when you watch that play tonight on Home Team Sports TV, when you rewatch this game, the wide receivers did not pick up on the high read.
No, they were running
deep routes.
I think that's what they had. They probably had some deep routes called, maybe some streaks to just see if their athletes can beat them. But Martinsburg, they made a good defensive call right there. See,
I'm looking for a deep shot right here.
He's going to go Spencer Powell.
Powell
go
right
get
now.
it. Go. Oh, he's got it.
And he lost track of the ball. And honestly,
that's not a bad ball, and it looks like number 16 is
and
really
honestly,
a little.
He grabbed it at his elbow.
Yeah.
He grabbed it at his elbow. And
He's got to track that ball, though.
You got to track
has
that ball.
It's not a bad ball.
Before we came into this season,
Yeah.
we felt like Jefferson has 3 potential
Really good.
D1 wide receivers, maybe D2,
Yeah.
D1 AA, or what they call it FCS now.
Yeah.
You want to see them make that play right here.
You have to.
So it will be 4th
Goins.
down and Jefferson's punt. Quentin Goins back.
And now Martinsburg knows they have an athlete back there, so they.
Another angle kick. The ball will be out of bounds at the 43-yard line. So Martinsburg will start with great field position.
Yeah, and you don't want to give the offense of Martinsburg the ball with this type of field position, obviously.
And not down 14-0. Your defense has played very well. Even though Martinsburg has 14 points, those have been really 2 big plays. So your defense has played well.
Yes.
But eventually playing well and not having the results, most people continue. They start to crumble at some point if things don't start to turn their way.
It looks like we got a switch at running back here too, Keem. I believe this number 18, A.J. Harrison. And he gives you a different look than what Zion does. Bigger, more physical. Good ball.
And a deep pass to Hunter.
Yeah. That's Buzz, I believe, right? Yeah.
Buzz Dover.
Yeah.
But that was a beautiful pass by the Shepherd recruit, Ezra Bates.
Yeah, and I think that's where he's obviously going to end up probably. His brother's there, and he wants to follow in those footsteps. But like you said, that was a great ball.
To be able to put that on the outside shoulder.
Yeah.
Because that was good coverage by
It
Roper.
was. He was right there. He was on his hip. You can't ask for better coverage than that. That's just a good ball and a good catch.
And we'd like to thank our sponsor, Neil Powell at Down Home Insurance, the title sponsor for the day, Sunday's Tanning and Key Property Management. We will have a 1st down and 10 from the 29-yard line. And a great pass to A.J. Harrison and a touchdown, Martinsburg.
Good ball.
And once again, Sherman's scheme, where he put Harrison in, he ran that wheel route right down the seam.
And that's one thing about Martinsburg's offense is if you're going to play running back, you have to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield. And that's what we've seen with him and Zion already. I mean, obviously Zion's been catching it. He has 3 catches maybe out of the backfield. And there goes A.J., 1 catch for a touchdown.
And he was wide open.
Oh, he was.
So
great ball, wide open.
That has to be a miscommunication from the linebacker right there.
Another penalty. And Sherman, he might kick it. He might go for it.
Well, I mean, honestly, you get half the distance to the goal with all sides. That's could be easy 2 points. And you never know. Like this, Jefferson has an explosive offense.
Yeah,
all Jefferson needs to do is be able to have 2 possessions to get points on the board.
Here he's going to go for it. Yeah, he's going to go for it.
And Sherman knows that. He knows that now this game is still within reach.
Yeah.
If Jefferson, it's 10 minutes and 52 seconds left in the second quarter. Jefferson with an explosive offense can be able to put points on the board. So you are also showing your team that we are putting foot to throat.
Yeah. We want to try. I mean, half-yard line, you want to try to get that. You have to. Those 2 points, they might not mean anything now, but down the road, you might want to see if you can get this down the road and probably be Cam Shallis.
To Cam Shallis and be in for 2. The score with 10 minutes and 52 seconds left in the second quarter is Martinsburg 22 and Jefferson 0. We'll take a quick commercial break. Keem Holmes from Home Team Sports TV. In Shenandoah Junction at Jefferson High School, where we have the Martinsburg Bulldogs 22 and the Jefferson Cougars 0. And Brandon, what I want to do right now also, I want to shine light. This is October, and this is breast cancer awareness. So you see some of the players wearing pink. But for everyone who may have lost someone from breast cancer, may have someone in the fight, maybe have someone that that loves
Another
someone
onside kick.
that's
And that's
battling,
Martinsburg gets you with those.
that
I
has
think
someone
Jefferson got it back.
battling breast cancer. We love you guys. We really support you guys in the fight, and God bless anyone that has been affected by the terrible C word, cancer.
Yeah.
And it looks like Martinsburg, has
got it
recovered.
back. Yeah.
And it would be 1st and 10 Bulldogs. And that's the last thing
You don't need that right now.
Jefferson needed.
Yeah.
And
That's what hurts you against teams like Martinsburg.
Humphrey tried to make that play. I like the
That's a good
aggressiveness,
kick.
no fear.
Yeah.
But the ball is beat off his chest. And obviously, unfortunately for you Jefferson fans, the ball has been given back to the Bulldogs with all the momentum in the world. 22-0 with 10 minutes and 50 seconds left. Ezra Bajan in the pistol with trips to the right side.
Looks like there's some confusion.
And for Martinsburg, is Sherman
You got 8
the
seconds.
offensive coordinator?
8. Yes, he is. Yeah, he does. He's double duty. Looks like
And
you
the
got
inside
Xavier.
handoff?
Redmond. He's a hard runner too, and that's Martinsburg has 3 very good athletes at running back.
And Redmond, what year is he in?
I believe he's a senior as well.
So he's a senior. Grantham's a senior.
Yeah. Harrison, I believe, is a senior as well.
So they will have new backs
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and new wide receivers because you also lose Hunter and Pearson.
Yeah.
So Martinsburg will definitely have to reload after this season.
But I think Buzz will be back. Murphy, obviously. Ezra's gone, so Murphy might be playing quarterback. But
Or Corey Fagan.
Martinsburg has some. Here we
And
go, Redmond. Good
another
job.
great play by Ezra Bajan right
Yeah.
there.
Let your receiver make those yards.
He knew. All right,
Yeah.
he's faster than me.
Yeah.
He's a little bit more athletic
Toss
than
him the
me,
ball.
and it makes my stats look
It goes
good.
in the stats. Yeah, it goes in the stats either way for you.
So we will have a 1st and 10 Bulldogs at the
Martinsburg.
Jefferson 46-yard line. And now that Martinsburg momentum, that Martinsburg snowball, Jefferson really has to watch out for that right now.
Yeah, you just at this point you don't want this game to get too out of hand. So you need to get a stop here and then put something together on offense because that's what Jefferson really needs.
Yes.
They prove they can stop him. Here we go, Murphy. So you have
another
to make
arm
that tackle
right there.
And Murphy's an athlete. He turns those plays into big ones.
2 arm tackles right there
Man.
by Jefferson High School, and you have a touchdown. Murphy commit.
And another flag.
And it'll most likely be a flag on the sideline.
Yeah.
But what you don't want to do, as a coach, you can't teach heart.
No.
And unfortunately, on that play right there, you had 2 people try to arm tackle, and you're not going to tackle Murphy commit with an arm tackle.
Looks like they're calling it back, too.
So it's a tripping on Martinsburg, which will call back that play. But if you're Craig Hunter, you call a timeout and let your defense know, like, hey, this is a game where you're playing for pride as well.
Oh.
You know,
and like you talked about heart, you can't teach heart. Games like this I guess they're going to give them the touchdown, but games like this are where you see what players have that heart.
Yes.
No matter what, you have to keep playing. It looks like they are giving them the touchdown.
So the touchdown is good. So I wonder if it's a
28,
penalty that can be tacked on to the kickoff.
I believe so.
So the score is 28-0
28-0.
Martinsburg with 9 minutes and 57 seconds left, and that is 2 touchdowns within the last 3 minutes.
And that's where Martinsburg, they score in spurts. They always have. I remember the 2019 team, they scored, I think, bad snap. Pick it up and go. Oh.
Now, in high school, can you get 2 points by so in essence, the only person who could have been able to pick that ball up and make a play would have been Martinsburg.
Yeah.
So all you really need to do is just touch the ball and it would have been dead at that point. But right now,
I'm in college football mode.
But right now, yes, as I say, college football, you see that blocked extra point. What was it, Alabama versus Auburn?
Yeah.
That was one of the best games I think I've ever seen in college. That was one of the best games I've ever seen in college.
It looks like they are going to enforce that penalty on the kickoff as well. And Martinsburg, they might try to kick it deep here. But I wouldn't be surprised if Sherman goes ahead and kicks another onside kick.
I actually think right now Sherman is going to kick the ball deep.
I would, but
the momentum is strong. Plus, you think about it, if you try to kick an onside kick right now with the penalty, Jefferson's going to take over the ball at the 35-yard line. Now, Martinsburg's defense hasn't been stout, and it has stopped Jefferson from being able to advance the ball and obviously have productive possessions. But most decent teams in the high school level, if you give them the ball at the 30, 35-yard line, eventually they're going to strike.
Yeah, and Jefferson, we talked about, is a team that can put something together on offense. They have the athletes to do so.
And Martinsburg kicks the ball deep.
Kick it deep.
And they would kick the ball real. That was a beautiful kick. It actually would be a touchback.
It's a great kick.
Jefferson had their players up based off of the onside kicks. So instead of having their kick returns at depth, to be able to have
kicked
a return
right over their head.
Over their head. And now that penalty doesn't matter.
No.
Because that's essentially something you get when you kick the ball from the 35-yard line. So that's an amazing play about a kicker, because obviously we've seen Jefferson's kicker, in the first quarter, he kicked the ball through the end zone. And you see Martinsburg kickers have gotten better since we played high school football.
Well, and they put in the time now. I think that's the difference between the kickers when we played were just soccer players that showed up every now and then. Yeah. These kickers now, they take it serious.
Yeah, man, that's definitely true. And another quarterback keeper.
That's what you need, big plays.
And that's what Dylan Herrick is.
Yeah.
Dylan Herrick isn't a prototype pocket passer.
No.
He likes to get out of the pocket.
He gives you that aspect, though.
With his legs.
He's an athlete.
He's a great athlete.
Has an older brother at Frostburg, correct?
Weiland.
Yeah.
Weiland.
Playing, what's he, a DB? Safety? Free safety, yeah. Hard-nosed kid, right? Yeah.
He was an elite quarterback in high school as well. So, quarterback runs in the blood of the Herrick household.
It seems like it. And it just seems like they're athletes.
So, you have 1st and 10 Jefferson at Jefferson's 35-yard line. You see a little bit of confusion on the Jefferson side.
Empty.
Where you have an empty set. You have 2 wide receivers to the right and the left with the H-back on the left side. Herrick scans the field. He takes the snap. Quarterback power.
Can't let him outside.
But a great tackle by Martinsburg.
Braden Herring.
And the H-back
tackle.
Actually, the wide receiver and the H-back missed that tackle on the cornerbacks, which didn't allow Herrick to be able to spring open. And the amazing thing about it is, and that's what I love about football as well, is it's such an ultimate team sport that
everyone has to do their job.
All 11 players have to be in cohesion.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. If one player doesn't do their job, that's when people have to make plays, really.
And not many athletes have that ability to make those individual plays by themselves.
No.
So we have a 2nd and 9 for Jefferson from the 36-yard line of Jefferson High School.
Again,
Herrick with an inside handoff to Evan Toole. And that's a great tackle again by the Martinsburg middle linebacker and Murphy Clement. And we will have a 3rd and 8 with 8 minutes and 22 seconds left in the second quarter. Now, actually, we'll have a 3rd and 6 because they actually moved the sticks up a little bit. If you're Jefferson, this is only the first half. Now you're down 28-0. Does this become 4-down territory, or do you continue to play and you say, you know what, let's just kind of slow this down and then be able to make a couple plays and try to get back in the game, because you can't get everything back at once.
It's a tough decision. I personally would probably punt it and just play it safe, but this miscommunication.
And
they need to find they really need to just locate the football, because they're open. They're open.
They're getting open, but I think also is the quarterback has just a little bit more time to be able to allow that wide receiver to get into his route just a little bit more, especially, those deep routes.
Yeah.
So it'll be another punt for the Jefferson High School Cougars. We will have the athlete, the ex-quarterback, the tight end, the H-back, the defensive end.
He is doing it all. He is doing it all.
And you just love to see that in a player. The ultimate team player right there.
Well, and see, that's what I was just about to say, is that just goes to say what type of kid he is, to be moved from the starting quarterback at the beginning of the year and now doing other things, different aspects for the team.
Now, do they not have fire calls anymore? Because I've actually watched, a couple punts over the last couple weeks, and you've had like defensive players, around the ball.
Yeah.
Where all that ball just caroms off and kicks you in the leg, and next thing you know, the team recovers it, and they have the ball inside your territory.
They're braver than I was, and what we were.
What was your guys' fire call? 'Cause we had fire.
Sure, we called it Peter, yeah.
Something where everyone just knew that, hey, the ball's around me, I need to be able to get away.
Yeah.
And actually, they have Shallison at H-back right now. You have two
and that's something that he can give you a different look at, too. Good tackle, 34.
Nolan Meeline is one of my favorite players for Jefferson High School. He's very physical. When he gets his hands on you, you're done.
Oh, yeah. He's a good linebacker. He really is.
The amazing thing is when you watch these teams, I know right now Martinsburg's leading 28-0, and Martinsburg has been, the most successful program in West Virginia over the last 10 to 15 years. But you see player equivalents. Like Shallis, you see Quentin Goins.
Yeah,
You see Clement, you see Dylan Herrick. You see Hunter, you see Spencer Powell. You see that Jefferson is right there. And another great play by Martinsburg. But he is caught by Isaiah Fritz.
It's a great run, but great hustle play by Isaiah.
But there is a flag,
another flag
on the play, and this play will be brought
holding
back.
On Martinsburg.
But Martinsburg, their backs see a crease, and when they hit that hole, they're getting to that hole fast.
Oh, yeah. Well, they want to show everybody how fast they are.
Yes. They obviously they have good speed, but Jefferson, it's hard for them to break from those track stars.
Man, and you just said it, they're track stars. They really are. What is it? 4 of them that are on the 4x1 team?
It's 4 of them on the 4x1 team.
Yeah, that's speed right there.
And 4x2.
Yeah.
But what we're seeing right now is Martinsburg double teaming inside on the nose tackles of the guards, the nose tackles of Jefferson.
Yeah, that's what they do a good job of.
And they're pushing them out, and those running backs are hitting that hole fast, and they're getting down there.
One move and go.
Another handoff, and he is bottled up. So it actually would be a 3rd and 20. A 3rd and 20 from Martinsburg at the Martinsburg 29-yard line.
And this is a stop Jefferson needs.
This
is what they need.
Well, they've had a couple chances early to get those big stops. We've seen penalties. Zion Grantham has been that person who's gotten them out of those peculiar situations in the flats.
Yeah, he can do it all, really. I mean, he really can. He can catch it. He can run it.
So we have trips to the left. We have Ezra Bajan with Zion Grantham to the right. And we have single with Hunter going across the middle.
Ball, Pearson.
That's the first pass to Roman Pearson.
Yeah. And that's a stop, Martinsburg.
So Jefferson with the big stop.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if Jefferson can get the touchdown, going to have 28-7, they get the ball back. Now, honestly, you never know what these playoff seedings could be. These two teams could meet up again.
It's very possible.
Very possible. With the seedings and the way it is, Martinsburg is going for it on 4th and 9. So let's see.
I see a hard count here. See how disciplined your defensive line is, and then they may throw. Yeah, there's the hard count.
And make it more of a manageable 4th down if
Jefferson
does jump off. But, yeah, leading 28-0, obviously that would have been a little bit dangerous. You don't want to lose momentum and allow Jefferson to get, potentially a cheap touchdown by getting the ball to the 29-yard line.
And let's see what Martinsburg does here. Let's see if they do send their punt team out or if they are going to go for it.
And they could even send their punt team out, Brandon, and go on 2 or 3 and still try to steal, 5 yards. So you have to maintain discipline. If you're a Jefferson High School Cougar or you're a Cougar fan, you want to employ these kids to be able to be disciplined, keep your head in the game and compete. Because at the end of the day, and we both know, your athletic career ends at some point, and you always miss that level of competition.
Yes, you do.
And you can't get it back. You can't get it back. We can play. We can play in men's
league. No, it's not the same. It's not the same. Leading up to like Friday Night Lights, it's definitely not the same.
It's not the same on your body either.
No, not at this age.
Wake up! I remember playing flag football. We had a flag football game for the Dewey League.
Yeah,
man. That next morning, I had Bengay, icy hot, everything I could find.
Had to take an ice bath.
I was hurt. But
looks like they are going. Well, see, Ezra will he might just go ahead and kick it himself like a quick punt. he does that as well as his brother does it sometimes at Shepherd.
But you know why, right?
Yeah.
Jefferson cannot put a returner back there.
Looks like they are going to go for it, though.
They actually went for it.
Good ball. Did he catch it?
And
Good
Murphy
catch.
with the amazing catch.
Good catch.
And first down, Bulldogs.
And that's why you like to get both of them on the field at the same time. I mean, they just displayed right there. Murphy, he's just all-around athlete.
And the beauty of Murphy Clement, Murphy goes into the season and he is a candidate for State Player of the Year.
Yeah, Kennedy.
And everybody looks at the Kennedy and they say Murphy Clement, thinking of the quarterback. But he went to those camps and he went to multiple places over the summer and he shined as a back.
Yeah.
As a running back.
Good ball. Oh, did he catch it?
Man, I tell you
Good
what.
catch. Ezra, great ball.
That is an amazing
It looks like we have
catch.
a ref hurt here.
That is an amazing catch by Buzz Dover. So right now, we're going to go to a quick commercial break as we have an official down. For Home Team Sports TV, we have Martinsburg 28, Jefferson 0. And we're back in Shenandoah Junction where we have the Jefferson High School Cougars down 28-0. And we're definitely grateful that the referee was able to get up.
Yeah.
We had a referee injured, so
Up
that's
and
why
well.
we went to a timeout.
well.
And thank you and God bless you. So we have a first down and 10. And
Take a
Ezra
shot,
Bajan
Jameer.
takes another shot to Jameer
Ooh,
Hunter.
good ball, good
Touchdown,
catch, good
Bulldogs.
route.
I tell you what, Ezra Bajan is striking.
He's a kid that he has some arm talent, Keem. He really does, and he's so smart, just like his brother. I mean, he has one of the best coaches at home, doesn't he? I mean, if you're learning from Tyson Bajan, you have to do something with that knowledge.
And also, to have a father that believes in them and pushes them.
What did he say? What did he say on the broadcast when he came on at the Shepherd game? He said that he told them at birth they were blessed by Zeus himself. Travis Bajan, man. He's raising great young men, obviously. He's raising great young men, man.
He said, when I found my wife, I knew I hit the jackpot.
Yeah, he hit the jackpot, man. Yeah.
The athletic jackpot as well. But he's definitely, his kids have been amazing for the Martinsburg football community.
Monumental, man.
And
Monumental,
right now, honestly, he's putting on the show.
Yeah.
But
and he'll do that to you. What's that, third? Is that his third?
That's his third touchdown. But let me rewind back a little bit. I'm going to give a shout-out to Dover, Buzz Dover.
Yeah.
He's made some amazing catches.
He's an athlete as well. They didn't have him last year because of that knee injury, so he missed out on the year. But he's a kid, too, that one of these D2 schools, maybe even Shepherd, Fairmont State, one of those MEC schools, PSAC, they come in and get a kid like that. He has that mentality to be a great football player.
Yes. Well, the beauty of it as well is you got to see how the team methodically, switched some things up, right? Essentially, remember earlier, Martinsburg struggled with the run game.
Yeah.
And then they had the big play to Zion Grantham because they actually were locking down their receivers as
They
well.
were.
Well,
they were doing a good job.
And then Sherman goes to the heavy set. And Martinsburg broke off a few runs.
Got the little pooch kick. Fair catch.
And a fair catch at the 30-yard line.
That's the smartest thing to do. Got a little extra stuff.
So they have a couple big runs with the heavy set.
Yeah. Well, and see, that's what Martinsburg does. They can really switch it up on you. they have athletes like Cam Shallis that can go in and play fullback, H-back, whatever you need. Eric King, he's a different type of running back. That's a look that we haven't seen yet, but you might. You could see that.
So with Jefferson getting the ball right now down 35-0 with 4:42, you just want to see them stay focused, be able to put it together a good drive, and just you never want to lose opportunities to get better.
No, and just keep playing. At this point, you just have to keep playing, hope for the best, put some plays together, put some points on the board. I mean, it's still the first half, so we still have a lot of ball game left.
And
good
Dylan
ball.
Harris,
Go get it.
and the ball is picked off.
He has to put that towards the sideline. You can't put that upfield. You just have to throw it to the sideline and let your receiver turn that into like an out route.
Yeah.
He's young, though. That's something that he's going to learn in a couple of years.
And he's a sophomore, and he's only going to get better. So with Martinsburg taking over at up 35-0 with 4:36 left, we'll take a quick commercial break.
At ERA Liberty Realty, with over 30 years of experience, Cheryl provides each of her clients with the best level of customer service, along with helping families with the
And
next
we're back, as actually Martinsburg quickly got on the field, so we would have a 1st and 10 Martinsburg, and it would be a gain of 2 yards. So we apologize. We thought we would have a 30-second break when we have a change of possession, but Martinsburg quickly came on the field and wanted to be able to keep that action, that quick pace going. So they ran on the field. The officials allowed them to have that quick pace, and now we have a 2nd and 8. So we apologize to our viewers, but we are back.
Yeah.
So 2nd and 8 with 4 minutes and 13 seconds left in the second
A.J. Harrison back in at running back, going to give him a carry.
And 2 quick handoffs.
Hard runner. Very hard runner.
It's a very hard runner, but also the one person who is going to put that hat on you, Nolan Meeline with another tackle.
Yeah. E.J. Hendricks is another kid from Martinsburg that I love to watch, man. He is a big physical kid, plays offensive, defensive line, but he's a kid that gets after it at left tackle, man.
And I just love to see the physical way those running backs run the ball. They're not overly big, but you can tell, look at 18, look at his legs. He's definitely been doing some leg press.
Oh, yeah. Well, Martinsburg's coaches do a good job of getting those kids in the weight room, man. Just the numbers that are in the weight room early morning or in the afternoon is exceptional.
That's a great tackle by Nasir Jacobs.
Yeah. And I think the last game we broadcasted, he had a cast on, right? So he's got that off, and he's able to play more physical. Obviously, you got 2 hands. You can really get your hands on people.
And he has, but essentially as well, Martinsburg's biggest runs have been away from his side.
Yeah. Well, he's a kid you don't want to test every play. He can definitely put something together on defense.
And, with his speed and his intelligence as a linebacker.
Got 3 and 2 over here.
So he actually
makes a play
great. That's great coverage by Tayshawn Roper. He uses the sideline as a boundary. And
that's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do as a cornerback.
Yeah, use that. You have to use that as a second defender, essentially.
And Roper is only a sophomore. He's gone against.
Wow, he's a sophomore.
He's only a sophomore. Crazy. He's gone against. You got Jameer Hunter. You got Ray Adams from Martinsburg.
And it seems like they give him that big test.
Assignment.
Yeah, that's his assignment every week. So.
And you want to know
that
something.
Just goes to show athlete. He's an athlete, man.
And something else that I just realized, and I do apologize because I do take pride in being very visual. We have not seen Keyshawn Robinson since he limped off the field.
Yeah.
So
I see him down here though. He's standing down here on the sideline, pacing back and forth. It looks like,
So it's
ankle injury maybe.
So and maybe even keeping it loose.
Yeah.
It's a cold night.
It is very cold.
So just keeping it loose. And it essentially could be, you don't want to lose him as offensive threat on the offensive side of the ball, so you kind of make him.
Ooh, good play.
And who is that? Quentin Goins.
Yeah, I'm shocked they didn't throw a flag there, Keem. But, yeah, that's a great play by him. He's making some plays on that end, for sure. He's standing out for Jefferson.
He's definitely been a standout at defensive end. Quentin Goins, he's so talented, man.
Yeah. Got him playing nose guard again, I believe.
And to be honest with you, he's not overly big, but that goes to show.
Well, he's
like
fast.
Him in the
He's fast.
Yes.
Yeah, he's fast too. So
with 1 minute and 51 seconds left, Martinsburg with the Twins to the left. He looks deep, and once again, he gives all the effort. But once again, the flats are opening up for Martinsburg.
And I am so happy to see Roman Pearson dive for that ball like that.
Yes.
Because that just goes to show us that he's still that same player that's going to put it all out there even after that injury.
And with Martinsburg going for it on 4th and 14 for the 29-yard line, you know they're going for it right here.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So you have 4th and 6. You have twins to both sides.
And you have to
pistol
watch the
formation.
Hard count.
And you have to be focused on the hard count.
Yeah.
But also,
Call a timeout.
But also, in that sense, you have to be ready for when they snap the ball to be full throttle and full go. And that's the difficult aspect of it. When you have to stay focused and you actually turn down your aggression just a little bit to be able to not jump off sides, and then you have to quickly turn it back on to get to the quarterback, that is a hard move for defensive linemen.
That's when that discipline really kicks in to where it's like, hey, I know that I need to be ready at any moment, but I also have to watch this football and make sure that I'm not making any, stupid penalties at this time. We got a minute and 43 left. Sherman's probably gonna. I say he takes another shot at some point.
Well, right now, Martinsburg has shown the ability to be methodically move the ball down the field.
Yeah.
So they don't necessarily have to go for the deep route. But what Martinsburg reminds me of, what their wide receivers remind me of, is the old Rams offense. When Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce, you didn't have to throw the ball 50 yards down the field. You could throw the ball 15 yards, and they can get those chunk yards, those yak yards after the play.
Sherman's changing the play.
So we have a 4th and 6, and we have a single high safety for Jefferson. Spencer Powell shades to the right-hand side. You have twins to both sides. A quick inside slant and a fumble.
Is it a fumble or a drop pass?
And that's they call it
incomplete.
They call it incomplete pass.
Yeah.
But that was actually a great play by Tayshaun Roper by getting his hands in there.
And these kids are so good at that nowadays, where they play the ball so well that as soon as the receiver catches it, they're literally throwing that punch through their hands.
Yes.
Which is awesome. I mean, it's just that's where the game's evolved even more on that side of the football.
Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
It was Charles Tillman.
Yeah,
Peanut Tillman.
For Chicago Bears. Yeah, he really started it. Yeah.
Yeah, he did the punch of the ball, and he forced so many fumbles.
Yeah, he literally.
Peanut Tillman.
Yeah.
So we see Keyshawn Robinson out.
He's back in, which is awesome to see.
We have twins to the right-hand side. We have the H-back, and we have Evan Toole to the right. Dylan Herrick in the pistol.
Take a shot. Let Keyshawn.
He takes the snap.
Why is he not running around?
And he
miscommunication
to the outside, and it's an incomplete pass. So it was a miscommunication. Powell goes inside. He sets down. That ball is thrown to the outside. But how much also is contributed to, we've seen earlier when Herrick threw that deep pass, he grabbed at his elbow, and you being a quarterback as well, you know that when your body starts to feel off, your mechanics change just slightly.
Well, and Martinsburg's defensive line is putting a lot of pressure on him too. So when that pressure starts to come, you really start to mentally feel that, where you don't want to hurt your hand or anything like that. And good run.
You see Herrick get to the outside, and it would be a 3rd and 5 for Jefferson High School at midfield. And right now, you're Jefferson, you have 1:28 left. You get the ball to start the second half. You want to get some points on the board.
You have to.
Go into the half, down 35-7, 35-8. Come back out with the least potential.
Yeah.
To be able
to put some more points on the board.
Put some more points on the board, but also keep Martinsburg locked in and focused.
Yeah.
Because you don't want them to start to feel that level of confidence where they think this game is over.
Not at all.
When they smell blood, it's like Jaws.
Oh, well, they keep the foot on the pedal. That's something Sherman does. He's not going to tell his younger kids not to go out there and play hard. He's going to let them play. Good ball.
Great
Isaiah.
ball by Dylan Herrick.
Yeah, and first down.
The ball is – so we will have – I don't know if that's a face mask on Isaiah, then a 15-yard penalty on Avion Blackwood, or it could be potentially 2 penalties on Martinsburg. It could be a 15-yard face mask plus a hitting out of bounds. So that would be 30 yards. Okay, so they only called one. I thought there was actually going to be some extracurricular activities outside, but that was a great throw by the sophomore. And as a Jefferson High School fan, if you're watching this game, as a coach for Jefferson High School, you really want to see these kids continue to compete. But for a young quarterback, it's those learning curves and those learning adjustments that when you sit back there and you watch the beginning of the game to the end of the game, you're like, okay, that's my quarterback right there.
Yeah, well,
he adjusted, he made those plays. Yes, early he may have been slightly overmatched, but by the end of this game, he's ready, and it makes you feel more confident going forward.
Man, and this is where you see what type of players those kids are. I mean, to be a sophomore and play in an atmosphere like you do against Martinsburg, the talent that Martinsburg has, I mean, that just goes to show what type of player he is, being able to do this at such a young age.
It's not easy in the transition from rec league, as in Berkeley County they have rec league and then they go to freshmen. In Jefferson County we have middle school
football.
But the biggest difference is it's a total different ball game.
Oh yeah,
it's a total different ball game. So don't let it fool you when your kids are dominating in rec league and dominating in middle school. You can't let it fool you because it's a total different beast when you get up here and you're playing varsity football.
Well, varsity football, it's a hard jump going from middle school to that. But really, essentially from level to level, from middle school to college, even college to pros, I really think it comes down to the speed of the game.
Yes.
I mean, everybody gets faster, everybody gets bigger, the game speeds up. So if you can mentally slow the game down, that's when it becomes easy to you.
Yes. And the fact that Martinsburg has been in cover zero the whole game, and once again we have the low snap that is not handled, and that is a wasted play for Jefferson High School. So you have 2nd and 10 from the Martinsburg 18-yard line. It is 1 minute and 18 seconds left in the second quarter.
You need to get in the end zone.
You need to get in the end zone.
You have to. You have to give you that confidence, a little bit of boost going into halftime.
Well, going into halftime, and the momentum is on your side.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
That's why Sherman called that timeout.
Yeah.
Because he realized he doesn't want to go into halftime on a sour note. But, going back to it, Martinsburg has been in cover zero for every single play on the defense.
They love it, man. They love it. They're going to cover zero, and they're going to bring pressure. Timeout, Jefferson.
It was a timeout for Jefferson High School. So you're inside the red area. We're inside the red area, and you have a 6'4" wide receiver.
Throw it up.
Powell.
Let's see what he can do.
You've seen Martinsburg with Hunter. You've seen Martinsburg with Blackwood. Give their athletes that chance. And Jefferson has taken a couple shots. They just haven't connected, but they've taken a couple shots. Brandon, on this play, if you're the quarterback for Jefferson High School and you're talking to Craig Hunter, what are you telling him right now?
Let's let our athletes make a play. Let's go ahead and, like you just said, use our 6'3" big frame receiver and Spencer Powell and live to play another down. If he's not open, throw it out of the back of the end zone or something. But you need to go ahead and just try to make that big play.
And you can also scheme that as well. If you have Powell, say Fritz on the same side, and all of a sudden Isaiah, you guys run a post and a fade. And then after that last second, he splits off.
And we do have a good chance here. You got Spencer Powell one-on-one over here.
On his side by himself.
To the short side.
With Avion Blackwood.
Yeah, go ahead and just see if he can make a play. See what your athlete is about at this point.
So we have 2nd and 10 with 1 minute and 18 seconds left. I love how Evan Tooldas called that blitz.
There it is. Oh, good ball. Oh, little low.
It was a little low, but we saw what he saw.
And we're living to play. They're living to play another down. So
it is 3rd and 10 from the 17-yard line, and we know this is going to be 2-down territory for Jefferson.
It has to be at this point in the game.
But what I like to see is right there, Jefferson had pretty decent blitz pickup. It allowed Dylan to be able to step up in that pocket.
Yes, it did.
And even though he rushed his throw slightly, it's still that's just a little steps forward that you would like to see Jefferson and make it more of a competitive game going forward.
At the start of the play.
3rd and 10. He rolls out.
There he is.
He throws the ball to Isaiah Fritz.
Touchdown.
And touchdown, Isaiah Fritz.
They needed that. They needed that to make this game competitive, man.
And
really
you
did.
see the Jefferson side get excited.
That's a strong arm.
And that's a very strong arm.
From a sophomore,
to be
man,
able
that's
to
a
throw the
strong
ball from the left side of the field to the right side
He
of the field.
flipped his hips, set his feet, and
But
let it
Brandon,
fly.
let's also give credit to the Hogs.
Yeah.
Because for them to
Gave
be
him
able to
some
roll
time.
out and give them that time, that was a great play by Dylan Herrick and a great play by Isaiah Fritz. And the score is 35-6, Martinsburg, but touchdown Cougars.
You couldn't have placed that ball any better. He put it right where he needed to do.
You couldn't.
Right where it needed to be.
You couldn't. And the freshman Jonathan Pineros is in for the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Jefferson,
Like we talked about.
And what
Momentum.
Jefferson needs to do right now is, Sherman's going to come for the kill. Sherman is going to take a
gonna
couple
try to
deep
score,
shots.
yeah.
He's going to try to score with a
gonna
minute
try
and
to
5
score.
seconds left, even though he has one timeout. Actually, I don't think he has any timeouts.
No, I
to
think
be
he
completely honest
used
with you.
them all. Yeah,
he didn't have any
used them all.
timeouts.
Nope.
But Jefferson has to be – they have to use his momentum on the offensive side of the field to be able to come in and make a big play. Now, the attitude of Britt Sherman, he's a go-getter. He's a
Yes,
dog.
he is.
He's
Yeah.
a dog.
Well,
So you right now is when you really want to take advantage of maybe of his aggressiveness and say, okay, we know you want to take that shot.
Sit
Maybe
back.
we might even get an interception and be able to put another touchdown on the board. And next thing you know, we're going to halftime 35-14.
Well, Sherman's not the type of coach that's about to play conservative. I wouldn't even maybe a trick play or something come in here just to try to put something else in the end zone. So,
I don't know if you got to see the Wildwood versus Harpers Ferry game.
watch it on YouTube.
So you watch it on
one of those
Home Team Sports TV on YouTube.
Go back and watch it.
Yeah, go back and watch
that's a
that
good
game.
thing.
But Benjamin, he has so many trick plays up his sleeve that even on the kickoff, you never know what Roy Benjamin's going to do.
Yeah. Well, we saw some athletes that are coming up in the Jefferson County area in that game. That was a great middle school football game. Very competitive. It was down to the wire.
It was a great
down
game.
to the wire.
It was a great game. And also
another kicker.
Actually, no, he just pushed it. Oh, he fumbled. And he is tackled at the 18-yard line. And it's 1 minute left. Martinsburg has 1 minute left and some extracurricular activities. And there's a flag on the field. And you want to make sure you keep this game clean.
Yeah.
You don't want. I would say it's a rivalry, and you really want it to be fiery, but you want to make sure the game stays clean.
Yeah, you want to go into next week with your full roster.
Yeah, you
don't want any
you wanna
stupid
stay
penalties
clean.
where you get kicked out of a game.
Because Martinsburg, I think, has a bye next week, if I'm not mistaken. They have a bye, and then they have Bishop Ironton.
Yeah.
And then their season's over. Jefferson has has Hedgesville, and then they play Washington. So you definitely want to make sure that you're smart and keep the game clean. But getting back to it as well, next Saturday, you have Wildwood versus Harpers Ferry again
at noon,
for the middle school championship of Jefferson County. So for everyone watching this game right now, tune in next week and you'll get to see your favorite 6th, 7th, and 8th graders compete on Home Team Sports TV for the Jefferson County Championship.
What did they call this penalty on? Was it?
I think the penalty was on Jefferson. It looks like he's ready to go forward for 15 yards. So I don't know if it was a penalty on both or if it's only on one. But it looks like he's about to mark off 15 yards.
You hear these fans
on Jefferson.
You hear them.
And Jefferson, that's why, I'm a Jefferson County native.
Of course,
I love the passion.
If they get the ball back at half, they need to stop here.
And it's taken to the outside. Good job,
Murphy.
Isaiah.
Good tackle, Good tackle. Clock's running. Good tackle.
And that was a great play.
Up to the line. Let's go. Another flag.
Another flag on the play.
Goodness.
But that was a great play.
Looks like a sideline warning.
And that was a great play by Isaiah Fritz right there because he maintained containment right there. So a sideline warning, and that will actually you get that first warning, but the next time you get a penalty. So it'll be 1st and 10 Bulldogs with 45.6 seconds left. And until they set the ball, the clock will stop. Martinsburg has no timeouts left. So this right here, Brandon, this right here is when Martinsburg sets you up. They might have a little pass for this. They might have a little pass, out of set.
Good run.
And you got to tackle.
Look, we have more.
Another
flag.
Another flag on the play. And this game is getting highly sloppy right now.
Looks like we got another sideline penalty.
So this may be the 15-yard variety.
Is that
So a 15-yard penalty, and this is the last thing that Jefferson needed. You can't give Martinsburg 3 yards. And essentially, after you just get that touchdown, the last thing Jefferson can afford is Martinsburg going there and get a touchdown.
Yeah, and obviously you just need to keep your team back at this point. He just gave you 2 penalties in a row. You just need.
And it looks like that penalty was on number 17,
yeah.
Wyatt Shively. So 37.2 seconds left.
Like Martinsburg. Yeah,
and
you
here's
said
that
you
pass.
called it.
Here's that pass.
Oh, bad ball.
But I told you.
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah,
you
did. That's where they try to play that game with you. You know, they run, and then they throw that play action pass at you.
You know, and the thing about it is, to play the game of football, you want to be cerebral, and that's one of the things I love so much about watching the game with my son as well. Is you try to instill that that mental intelligence and that emotional intelligence into your kid. So I always have him watch and ask him, what do you think's going to happen next? What are they setting up?
That's how you learn football.
That's how you learn football.
Jameer Hunter, you have 30 seconds left.
And after every single play, you see a lineman from Martinsburg on the ground, you see a lineman from Jefferson on the ground. This game is
They're playing to the whistle. They are playing to the whistle.
But that's definitely something you really want to see, though.
Yeah.
You want to see those big hogs compete.
You want to see it, but you also don't want to see any more penalties, man.
You want to be clean.
We've seen enough of those tonight, so we just need to go ahead and play clean football and get the athletes, man. Get the athletes involved. That's
Ezra Bajan rolls out.
Throw it.
Plus,
throw
he breaks down. He picked off by Spencer. And he missed it.
He played the ball well, though.
He played the ball
He made sure
well.
he was the one that was going to get it, if anybody. So he just needs to go and make that play.
And to be completely honest with you, in college, that's honestly what I see him playing. I see Spencer Powell being a free safety. He's long. He's rangy.
Yeah.
He's fast.
He does it on both sides. He's definitely a playmaker.
He
really
is.
There's a lot of those kids.
And when he gets the ball in his hands, he can make plays.
Yeah. I think that's the best thing about this football game is there's so many kids on the field that can really do it both ways. I mean, even you've got linemen that do it both ways as well.
Yes.
Jameer Hunter across the middle.
Fleming.
Go ahead and throw it. There he is.
Oh, he throws the ball up. And listen. Even though
that's a great play.
Nasir Jacobs bats that down, a linebacker guarding a wide receiver.
Yeah. He is one of those kids that's like a hybrid. He could do it all. I wouldn't be surprised to see him playing some type of safety in college.
And he's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
So Jefferson has a lot of talented players.
They're young, very young. They are young, man.
So I know that we watched the JV game the other day, and the JV game didn't go well. But a lot of Jefferson's more elite 9th and 10th graders are playing varsity. They're playing varsity ball.
They're playing now, yeah. And I think that's the difference between Martinsburg and Jefferson. Sometimes those younger kids have to play a little earlier.
Yes.
Martinsburg does have your occasional freshman, sophomore play, but they do a good job of getting their kids experience, but most of the time they play when they're juniors and seniors.
And it looks like we are going to go into the half with Martinsburg leading Jefferson 35-7. The game has been physical, but the game has been intense that last 5 minutes of the first half. So I'm excited.
I am too.
About the second half.
It's going to be a great second half.
To see how both teams go into the locker room, what adjustments they make. Because one thing you can't say that Martinsburg has physically dominated Jefferson right now.
Yeah, well, Jefferson needs to come out and put a play together on offense. Again, if you put a score on the board, then
what Jefferson needs that explosive chunk play.
Yeah.
That quick one-play drive or that two-play drive that's to continue to put the pressure on. So from Home Team Sports TV, this is Akeem Holmes and Brandon Ashenfelter.
Yes,
we're going to do a quick commercial break and go back for our halftime show. Thank you for joining the home team.
With over 30 years of experience, Cheryl provides each of her clients with the best level of customer service, along with helping families with the next phase of their life. The buying and selling process comes natural to Cheryl, as her understanding of the housing market allows her the ability to answer any questions that may arise. With offices in both Jefferson and Berkeley counties, she works hard to ensure the outcome you deserve. Cheryl is the key to selling or buying your home.
This is Quintez McDonald Gibson from Integrity Home Mortgage. Come join the winning team today.
Alexi Sapatsko plans to attend WVU to pursue a degree in computer science and play in the WVU marching band. Laura Seaman is planning to attend college to become an architect. Alana Scott plans to audition at multiple schools to pursue a career in music education. Alexis Talbert plans to go to WVU to major in English and minor in business. David Tang plans to study medicine at Maryland University. Kendall Wagner plans on attending Fairmont State University and majoring in criminal justice. Cecilia Welch plans to attend Blue Ridge CTC and later get her degree in veterinary science. Juliet Wells plans to go to Shepherd University to major in communications. Patrick Wilson plans to attend Shepherd University to major in communication and new media with a concentration in journalism. Abigail Zidequara plans to attend WVU and study early education. And finally, we would like to honor the memory of Reese Brown, a member of the 2023 graduation class who lost her battle with cancer in August of 2021. Reese loved marching band, and we loved her. We would like to dedicate our performance tonight to Reese's memory. Thank you, Reese, for the memories. Let's give a round of applause to all of our seniors. The Jefferson Cougar Marching Band presents Dragons and Vikings, featuring music from How to Train Your Dragon by John Powell, arranged exclusively for the JHS Band by Steve Martin, percussion arranged by Aaron Hines, drill design by Terry Williams, drum major Thomas DeBuchanani, assistant drum major Alicia Hunter, Patrick Wilson, marching captain Isaac Coltrane, band staff, Director of Bands, J.P. Lynch. Assistant Director of Bands, Larissa Elliott. Assistant Director, Hannah Myers. Band and Color Guard Choreographer, Kathy Wendell. Color Guard Instructor, Michelle Brannon. Assistant Color Guard Instructor, Tabitha Foreman Combs. Percussion Instructor, Craig Lee. Pit Instructor, Emily Elias. Alto and Mellophone Instructor, Tanner Petrie. Clarinet Instructor, Tara Foster. Woodwind and Brass Instructor, Megan O'Neill. Sousaphone Instructor Matthew Holmes, and announcer Chrissy Crawford. Give it up for the Jefferson Cougar Marching Band.
with the best level of customer service, along with helping families with the next phase of their life. The buying and selling process comes natural to Cheryl, as her understanding of the housing market allows her the ability to answer any questions that may arise. With offices in both Jefferson and Berkeley counties, she works hard to ensure the outcome you deserve. Cheryl is the key to selling or buying your home.
This is Quintez McDonald Gibson from Integrity Home Mortgage. Come join the winning team today.
Juwan is the ultimate hype guy. I love him. He's always positive. He's always pepping them up and firing them up.
Come on, Parker, work, Parker, work, Parker, work, 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 work.
And we are back in Shenandoah Junction at Jefferson High School, where we have the Martinsburg Bulldogs, the 6th seed in the state of West Virginia, leading the Jefferson Cougars, the 11th seed, 35-7. And we will go first.
Yeah.
Then we will talk about some scores around the state, and then Brandon, what I'm going to ask you is, your thoughts on the first half,
for sure,
as well as what does both teams need to do in the second half to be slightly more productive, and get the W going into next week.
I mean, first and foremost is the penalties, obviously, and that's both sides. It's not one or the other. It's literally both sides. We're seeing a lot of penalties this game. Martinsburg really just needs to keep their foot on the pedal if they want to obviously come out here with the W. But Jefferson, they need to come out here, get an offensive possession, put some positive yards, put some points on the board, score, obviously come and play good defense, maybe get a stop, but I'm thinking that we're going to have a good half of football here. We're going to get started here, in 4 minutes? And I think these coaches probably went at halftime. Number one, told them, hey, let's clean this game up. Number two, let's keep competing. Because that's what this game's all about.
And cleaning the game up is the most essential aspect. We watched the Jefferson versus Musselman game. We broadcast that game as well, and it was very similar.
It was.
A lot of penalties from both sides. The game was a little choppy, hardly undisciplined from both sides, and you just want to see both teams be able to have a clean half of football and be able to put their best foot forward heading into the playoffs in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, emotions take play in these games like this because it's the Eastern Panhandle. Like we talked about earlier, all these kids know each other. It's bragging rights. I was the hammer, you were the nail. I was, hitting you all
on
night.
Snapchat.
Yeah,
Instagram. TikTok, whatever it may be.
Social media, man.
Yeah,
social media
changed the game. So right now we have number 1 seed Parkersburg South leading Greenbrier East 16-2. Number 1 Hurricane leading Riverside 21-7. Number 3 Huntington 28. Number 8 Cable Midland 21. That is in the fourth quarter.
Great game.
So that's definitely been a clean and crisp game. That game's in the fourth quarter already. You have George Washington, the 9 seed, beating Spring Valley 25-7. Princeton, the 13 seed, beating Bridgeport 20-10. You have Martinsburg leading Jefferson 35-7, and this is the AAA game of the week. You have Musselman leading Washington 34-0. Wheeling Park beating Brook 35-20. University 20, and Preston, who we had last week versus Washington, 10, so they're competing. Morgantown 25, John Marshall 7. Buchanan Upshur 35-0 over Grafton. Parkersburg leading Capital 21-7. Spring Mills leading North Hagerstown 29-15. That's a final. Shady Springs beating Ripley 13-6. South Charleston leading St. Albans 13-10. And if any of our viewers have the score of the Hedgesville versus Friendship DC game, please let us know so that we can inform the viewers of the score between EPAC, Hedgesville, and Friendship, because Hedgesville is also competing right now for a playoff spot. So
we got a lot of good football here in the
Eastern
Panhandle.
Definitely been a lot of good football in the Eastern Panhandle, and we hope to get a positive report that the Hedgesville Eagles are leading Friendship. So if anyone, any of my friends on Facebook, any Brandon Essenfelter's friends on Facebook, Instagram, we too old for Snapchat.
Yeah.
If you guys can let us know the score of the Hedgesville versus Friendship game, please let us know. So going back to the game at hand, the game that we're broadcasting, we got to see Jefferson get on the board late, seeing some great plays from Herrick.
Good possession.
You seen them make a big stop, and they actually stopped a few of Martinsburg's passing attempts as a couple penalties put Martinsburg at the 35-yard line with about 40 seconds left. So they put Martinsburg in prime position to be able to tack on more points. But Jefferson's cornerbacks were able to shut that down.
Yeah.
And Spencer Powell has been amazing in the back end, in that second quarter. After Martinsburg got those 2 quick touchdowns to begin the second quarter, Jefferson clamped down a little bit and was able to kind of slow down the bleeding.
Yeah, well, I think they figured it out that you can't arm tackle these kids. You have to really make a play. At that point, you need to go ahead and just put it all onto them. So,
and it's always cleaner ways, correct? To be able to make those tackles, obviously you have head to the side, put your shoulder pads into their stomach, and we worked on form tackling a lot.
You have to now
growing up. And I think that's kind of like what gets thrown off because there's so many rules and so many changes that were made nowadays. Like even 2 days. I think you can't even do that anymore. And
that made us back in the day though.
That made you.
Yeah, that really did.
I remember, going to 2 days and, you come back to that first day and, you're tan. It's just
just the team bonding in a 2-a-day, man. You're literally together all day. You're eating lunch together. You're watching film. You don't leave the facility really. So that 2-a-day, I really think it was a great part of football.
I miss that.
And I think the kids, it sucks for them that they don't get to experience that. Yes. But I know that there's other ways to team bond, and just the more and more we know about how dangerous the sport of football can be.
But it's just even the conditioning.
Man.
Conditioning
That's where
from 2 days where in 2 weeks you can go from an out-of-shape athlete to one of the most conditioned athletes because you're just literally just running around. We practice from 8 o'clock in the morning to 12. You take that hour and a half break, come back out there and you practice from 2 to 5, and
come back tomorrow.
Do the same thing for 2 weeks. You never had to worry about a player missing a couple of practices and not being eligible for the first game because we got our 14 practices in the first 2 weeks of the season.
Let's see what Martinsburg's going to do with the special forces here, they call it. Let's see if they're going to go ahead and kick it deep to the athletes or go ahead and just try to make them make a play.
I'm seeing a squib kick.
Yeah. Kick it deep. Okay. Hey, another good kick. He's also a great component to this Martinsburg team is that kicking game. I mean,
is he a soccer player?
I believe so. But he takes the sport of football serious too.
But
so
you
that
look
makes
at that
him,
kick right there.
Yeah.
That when you look at the elite levels of soccer, on Sundays, USA they have the Premier League. That kick right there was a line drive bullet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It definitely was.
Yeah, it was a line drive bullet. So we actually will have a first. Jefferson will take over at the Jefferson 20-yard line.
Ooh.
We have an offsides on Martinsburg, and we start half like we ended the half.
More penalties. Yep, more penalties.
And you just want to make sure, like for both teams.
Aiden Fleming.
So the penalty offsides on Fleming, but on both teams, you want to ensure that you're playing your best football right now. And this is not the best football for both of these teams.
It's very undisciplined up until this point of the game, Keem, and really do need to clean it up because right now, like you said, these penalties and stupid mistakes are not what you need to be doing right before the playoffs.
So an inside power to the quarterback.
Good play by number 12,
and you
Braden
cannot
Herring.
go to the outside
Great
against
play.
this fast Martinsburg defense.
Well, see, and that's the thing. Martinsburg does a good job of edge and then letting their athletes come make plays, like you just said. Jefferson and Martinsburg both do a good job of getting all hats on. They have a lot of players around the football.
I think the difference that I've seen today is the Martinsburg backs or receivers who get the ball, all they need is that slight crease.
Oh.
And once they get that slight crease, they make those big plays.
Athletes make big plays. That's what you need them to do. I mean, that is the sport of football.
So you have a 2nd and 5, so that was a gain of 0, and you have 2 wide receivers to both sides. You send Evan Toole in motion, and then quarterback power.
Herrick.
And Herrick, that time you could actually get to that
another
outside.
flag too. It is a game of penalties. See, it might be a hold on Jefferson.
And that's definitely going to be a holding penalty right there.
Yeah.
So Jefferson has a 1st and 5.
Can't move backwards.
And now you
Never
would
moving backwards.
Now you would have a 2nd and 16 because those are also spot fouls.
Yeah.
So it's not just you lose 10 yards. It's actually 10 yards from where the holding occurred. So now you have 2nd and 16. And in those plays, Jefferson only gained 2 yards on both of those plays.
That kills your offense. And 2nd and 16, that definitely narrows down the playbook. So,
yes. So Avion Blackwood is on one-on-one with Spencer
Take the
Powell.
play. Okay. Good route, good ball, good catch.
Well, and let's go to how much arm strength you need to be able to throw that route.
Well, and I mean, just to be able to throw a comeback route, you have to put it all together, from the feet to the hips to the arm to, obviously the vision to make that throw. So that was a very accurate ball. That's where you need to put it for your big frame receiver.
And the anticipation, he threw that ball out like before he took his break. So
yes. You need to be throwing that ball before the receiver even turns his head. It's his job to get that head around.
3rd and 5, you have 2 wide receivers to the left.
Ooh, miscommunication maybe, or he had some pressure in his face. That's number 50.
And that ball was high, so Jefferson will be forced to punt. It'll be 4th and 5 for Jefferson at the Jefferson 25-yard line.
They're not going for it. I thought they were, Keem.
No.
I thought he was going to surprise us.
Yeah, you can't go for
Not
it
right
in that
now.
situation.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of momentum. You still feel like you're in the game. The last thing you need to do is to be able to make this easier for Martinsburg to take that momentum from you.
Yeah.
So you have the athlete and Quentin Goins back at punter. Let's check the snap out right now. The snaps have still been a little bit off.
Look, another
but that was a pretty decent snap.
Good kick.
And a kickoff right down the middle of the field.
Get the roll, let it roll.
And it bounces. It'll be out of bounds at the Martinsburg 45-yard line. So Martinsburg will take their first possession at the 45-yard line of Jefferson. And you see a very confident Ezra Bazin right now.
Oh my goodness, he had a great first half. He really did. He was making the right decisions, taking care of the football, and making the throws whenever they were there. So he always does a good job of managing the football game. So I think we're going to see more of that, and maybe even Sherman open up the playbook for him a little bit more and let him throw it around. So.
Well, yeah, because also, when you do have a slight cushion, you can do some different things. So Murphy Clement will take the handoff. And you see how he cut up, and he found that slight crease, and he got up there and he got a gain of 5 yards. Man, that's what these Martinsburg backs have done. Just a little bit more than Jefferson's back today.
Well, and that's really the game of football. If you get 4 here, 5 here, 3 here, hey, that's a first down. You know, so.
And this has been a physical game for both sides. And you see kids Jefferson around, but they're fighting.
Their defensive line has really surprised me. I mean, that's where the game's good ball. Pearson.
And a screen at Roman Pearson, the first down for Martinsburg, and he runs the ball very hard, and he'd be down at the Jefferson 40-yard line.
He's a physical kid, Keem. He really is. He's a physical kid. Martinsburg is fortunate to have him back. It's a great time to get him back. Gets 2 games before the playoffs as well. So.
And they also have Kai Fagan waiting to come back as well.
Yeah,
we talked about how important Kai Fagan is to Martinsburg.
He will impact the game on defense. He's a great linebacker, man. He really knows how to leverage and set that edge. So
and his little
come
brother,
playoff time,
his little brother is in the wings waiting to throw that thing.
Yes, yeah. He's an athlete too. Can run it. He can throw it. Zion Grantham, good cut. Good. He has great vision, Keem. He really does.
Vision.
Great vision, runs hard. He makes the cuts when needed. Here we got Goins coming back in the game. And let's see what they're putting him at. Nose guard, DN. See what he's playing.
He can do anything.
Yeah. Tool coming out.
And Tool, I seen him limping around a little bit earlier in the game. So.
I think Sherman takes a shot here. We got Ezra Bajan in the shotgun. Trips to the left.
So it's 2nd and 6, and it would be an offside on Martinsburg.
Looks like number 4, maybe.
So wouldn't that be a false start?
Yeah.
So a false start on Martinsburg would be a loss of 5 yards.
Yeah, he was in front of the ball. That's what it was. It's a game of penalties.
So it'd be 2nd and 11 for Martinsburg at the Jefferson 43-yard line. Actually, 42-yard line. My mistake.
I think Sherman's going to try to get Pearson involved. Just because it's his first game back, let's go ahead and try to get him the ball. We got another Jameer.
And that's a good defense by Tayshawn Roper.
Great defense.
And you want to know a cornerback that I've actually loved to watch in the NFL, and he's a rookie. Sauce Gardner from the Jets. I watched that Packers and Jets game last week.
Might be Rookie of the Year.
And Sauce,
very possible.
He always had his head and his body in the right position. He always got his hands out at the right time. He is going to be an elite cornerback.
I read an article the other day that just said he's a student of the game. Yeah. His football IQ is just
that's a great play by Isaiah DeLauder.
That's what
know, and that is defensive end 101. If you cannot get to the quarterback, get your hands up.
Get your hands up. Yep.
So it'll be 4th and 11 for Martinsburg at the 42-yard line.
You're going to go for it.
And Sherman, you definitely know Britt Sherman's going for it.
He's going for it, yeah. It's 4th down territory.
But Jefferson also has to be smart to make sure they don't give
Martinsburg he will hard count you 2 plays back to back. That's the thing. He's going to really see how disciplined you are. He's going to test you. So
it's 4th and 11 with 8 minutes and 23 seconds left in the third quarter. Martinsburg with trips to the left-hand side. They send Roman Pearson in motion.
There it is.
And a little bit of RPO action. And to the flats. Was that Zion Grantham?
Yeah.
And Zion Grantham on those wheel routes is lethal. And that is something that that we're going to see going forward within state play.
Oh, I mean, he is another person that you just have to get the ball to. He adds to that versatile offense. I know they have athletes, obviously at receiver, but he can give you what you need at the running back position as well.
And I'm going to be honest with you, his dad's one of my favorite people.
Man, Mikey cuts my son's hair, so I get to see Mikey a lot. That guy. He's good for the Martinsburg football program as well. Being the head freshman coach over there, he relates to the young kids well. I mean,
very well. So to be able to see his son, having the senior season that he has,
he put the work in. That's what's great about Zion. He put the work in, and it shows. When it was his time, he gave him a reason not to take him out.
So it's 1st and 10. Dylan Herrick rolls out,
and he's hurt.
And he's hurt because he. That was a very tough play because, he didn't want to throw the ball away and potentially get a penalty. But
Well, and I honestly, Keem, I'm shocked the refs didn't stop that play sooner. I mean, I really am.
So we are actually going to take a quick commercial break. With Home Team Sports TV, we'll be right back.
RA Liberty Realty. With over 30 years of experience, Cheryl provides each of her clients with the best level of customer service, along with helping families with the next phase of their life. The buying and selling process comes natural to Cheryl, as her understanding of the housing market allows her the ability to answer any questions that may arise. With offices in both Jefferson and Berkeley counties, she works hard to ensure the outcome you deserve. Cheryl is the key to selling or buying your home.
Back at Jefferson High School.
Welcome back.
We will have Moses Talley in at quarterback for Jefferson High School for the injured Dylan Herrick.
Hate to see that, man.
Yeah, you definitely hate to see.
I hope he is okay. I hope he is okay, man. Had to carry him off the field. So Moses, he a sophomore?
Moses is actually a senior.
Oh, he's a senior. Okay.
But Moses has elite arm talent.
Okay. Awesome. So he's been around the program for a while too. So
definitely
he
look
knows
forward
the
to
offense.
seeing what Moses can do out here with these great athletes at wide receiver.
Yeah. Get it in their hands. That's all you need to do as a quarterback. Okay. Good defense.
But that's great defense by Martinsburg.
Swarm to the football. That's what you have to do.
Well, and also you don't typically see a screen to the short side of the field as well. The boundaries, there's another defender for the Martinsburg.
Exactly. Like you just said, it's another defender. I mean, I guess they may have seen something. We've got 3rd and 24, though.
So 3rd and 24. But neither team has been able to get their offense out of neutral in this half. So let's see, right now with Moses having a big arm, let's see if they actually take that shot down the field to Fritz or Powell. It seems like Keyshawn Robinson's a little bit banged up.
Yeah,
you continue to see him continue to move that ankle. Yeah. So we have trips to the left-hand side, Powell to the right. Moses Talley will take the snap.
Get it out of there. Ooh.
And great pressure by the D-line of Martinsburg. And honestly, you felt like they kind of timed the snap because like
they
multiple defensive linemen came off the ball very fast on that play right there.
Xerxes Yankees, number 56 for Martinsburg. He is a kid that's motor does not stop. Watch him, Keem. I'm telling you, he just doesn't stop. He's been like that since a young age, man.
Listen, his mama makes the best chocolate covered strawberries. My wife orders chocolate covered strawberries from his mama all the time. So
I have to try
Angela,
those out.
if you out there, I gave you a shout out, Angela. I just gave you a shout out.
Good kick.
That's a great punt by Quentin. And also, you've seen Hunter be very composed and calculated coming up. You had all those bodies around him, and for him to be able to make that play, Jameer Hunter is highly impressive.
Yes, he is. He was a great pickup, man. He's transferred over from Spring Mills.
I don't want to hear that, man.
He's been having a great year. I know. I know.
Like,
we hear it all the time, man.
We hear a great pickup in high school. You're like that. But he has been an amazing
he did it the right way. You know what I mean?
He's been an amazing addition to the Martinsburg program. So you have Martinsburg now, Ezra basically on the pistol, 2 wide receivers on both sides.
Yep.
A quick inside handoff to Zion Grantham.
Get outside.
And he gets to the outside. And he's chased by Spencer
Good block,
Powell.
Buzz. And you love to see that by Buzz. Love to see it, man.
So let me
Another flag. What do we got?
So let me say something, and you tell me what your opinion is.
Okay.
Tell me that Zion Grantham doesn't remind you a little bit of Noel Devine.
Yeah, small in stature, but really he does it all, man.
Strong, quick, shifty, his low center of gravity, but
I think what sets him apart
fast.
is his vision, man. His vision just to be able to cut back, and he can stop on a dime as well. And when he stops, he gets his foot in the ground and gets uphill. So,
yeah,
and I guess we got a penalty on Martinsburg. So again, this half is still ugly with the penalties, and like we talked about, they really need to clean this up before come playoff time, man.
And
this type of stuff that'll lose you the ball game.
And essentially that's what you really don't want to see. You don't want to see this game get sloppy.
No.
To the point to where, you have kids getting these after the play personal fouls.
Yeah.
Zion Grantham was already 15 yards up the field, so to get a penalty back there, it's not necessary.
No.
It's essentially it's nonsense.
Yeah, you don't need plays like that.
So we will have 1st and 4 from Martinsburg with 6 minutes
play.
and 19 seconds left in the third quarter, and we have a stoppage. An official timeout. So actually, essentially what it was a first down, but it was after the play.
Yeah.
So it will be 1st and 10 from the Jefferson 47-yard line, where they had it at first and 4.
Yeah.
So you have two receivers on both sides.
That's a good job by the White.
Inside handoff. And once again, we see a lot of the Jefferson's defenders reaching to grab where you really want to see, and that's what Jefferson cannot afford that.
Man.
But you really want to see more of your players running through the bodies of the Martinsburg ball carriers.
Do we see Herrick? Is he? Looks like he's still on the bench here.
Yeah, prayers for Dylan.
Yeah.
He definitely started to play very well in that second quarter.
Good play.
And a great play by Isaiah DeLauder, and you will actually have a 3rd and 6 for Martinsburg. And let's see if they continue to use Zion Grantham, in the flats on 3rd and shorts. Him running those wheel routes and those angle routes have been lethal and very dangerous for the Martinsburg offense.
See, we got trips to the right. You have Jameer Hunter back here. I think they might take a shot here. Oh, look at you, Zion.
Remember, we have
a little screen.
Exactly.
Oh, come on. 74, you got to get that block. If 74 gets that block, man, he might be taking off. But you got to get the first.
But what did we say? Zion Grantham coming in on 3rd down. That ball is going to Zion.
Yeah.
So you have a 1st and 10 Bulldogs at the Jefferson 35-yard line. You have 4 minutes and 48 seconds left in the third quarter, and Martinsburg is leading 35-7, looking for the knockout punch right now.
Yeah, and I think this is, like you just said, if they put it in the end zone here, that might be – we're going to take a shot to Buzz. Back shoulder.
And that's a great play by Bajent. And touchdown, Buzz
Good
Dover.
play. And that back shoulder ball, man.
And that's what it is, because if you watch film, and obviously you watch film of your opponents, you see that throughout this game, Roper has not kind of turned his head around to be able to locate the ball.
Well, and
so those back shoulder plays work against a cornerback that utilizes his speed more so than technique to be able to,
Yeah. I was going to say they've seen that he can run with the receivers, right?
Yes,
he was hip and hip with him there. So that back shoulder ball really was a great decision by Ezra. And Buzz, to get his hips around and catch that, was also a great play as well.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to run past these Jefferson cornerbacks.
Yeah.
But Martinsburg's receivers and their timing.
They put the work in. Ezra, he gets them together. They throw. They make sure they're always throwing together. So.
And I've been highly impressed with Ezra Bajent today.
Man, that's number 4, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
That's number 4.
Yeah. So.
And he is definitely putting his clamp. Let's not say putting his hat in. Let's say he has put his foot in.
Yeah.
He put his head in, his arms in for the player of the game.
For a player of the game, but also that Kennedy Award, man. He really might, he's definitely considered at this point in the
Yes.
season. I mean, he's putting on a great senior campaign. So
He has to be. And to be honest with you, let's give credit to that Martinsburg program. And let's give credit not only to Ezra, let's give credit to Murphy for taking that back seat and saying, this is your year.
Yeah.
You know, because the year before, it was 50-50.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Murphy, it was 50-50 at the quarterback position. And for them to make that sacrifice.
Yeah, they're just both team players, man.
Amazing
That's
team
what it
players.
is. Team players.
And both of those players would be starting quarterbacks for a lot of teams.
A lot of teams in the state.
In the state of
Yeah,
West Virginia.
of course, yeah.
So Martinsburg would kick off leading 42-7.
Go ahead and kick it deep.
And he kicks the ball deep. And it's amazing. And Jefferson continues to have their kick returners line up around the 20.
I would just go ahead and put him back
line.
there and see. Yeah, you know, you guys are athletes. Let's put you back
and just
there.
take a chance. See if you can make a play.
Yeah.
Because these kick returns are one of your most limited chances against an elite Martinsburg defense to be able to get the ball in space.
Well, like you said, that just gives you another chance to really make that big play. I mean, that's what you need is a big play to really turn this, get points on the board. I don't want to say turn this game around because they really need to put some points on the board before this really just gets out of hand at this point.
They have to put points on the board fast.
And they have the athletes to do it. They just need to be in the right position. So it looks like we got number 12 still in there. Good. Oh.
And that
I thought I saw a hold maybe, Keem, but.
So we have Jameer Hunter locked up on Isaiah Fritz one-on-one. You have Avion Blackwood locked up on Spencer Powell one-on-one.
Another flag.
And you have a flag on the field. And it looks like it's going to be a unsportsmanlike conduct play on Jefferson High School. And that's a 15-yard penalty.
See, you don't need that right now. That just kills everything. And did they call it on Isaiah?
But you know, it's a little bit of composure.
Yeah.
You know, right now the game's not going your way, and essentially, like you said, you know, you want to compete, but you also want to make sure you have your composure because losing 15 yards when your offense has already struggled against this Martinsburg defense, you can't afford to lose 15 yards.
No.
So now it's 2nd and 20 at the 10-yard line.
Put you in a very bad spot.
With 4 minutes and 21 seconds left in the third quarter, and you're down. You're down by 35 points.
Yeah, it looks like they got it. I think the sticks might be wrong on the field, but.
So let's see if they take a shot right now with Powell.
I would. I mean, here we go. Get a little motion going. Ooh.
And Martinsburg snuffed out that
great play by Cam
screenplay.
Chalice. Great play.
They snuffed out that screenplay right there, and they've been highly prepared.
Yeah,
this is a highly prepared defense.
But
you know what? I told someone the other day, Brandon. I said the game for any team to watch is not the Highland Spring game.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one in the state of West Virginia that's going to have the type of athletes that Highland Springs had. That was one of the first times that we've seen a Martinsburg team severely overmatched. It was at a Riverside, Ohio game.
Yeah.
That game they're evenly matched, athlete for athlete. You know, it was just a very well played game.
Bring the pressure.
And a deep pass to Spencer Powell, and that was more like a back shoulder fade that Ezra just threw to bust over.
That's what you need, man. It
so
looks like
great completion. So great
Can't
completion from Moses Talley to Spencer Powell will be a first down in Jefferson High School.
We got 2 people hurt, Keith.
And we have some injuries on the field.
Can't see that.
So we have an injured player from Martinsburg and an injured player for
looks like
Jefferson
we got
High
cramps
School.
here. I think it's Avion here. Avion Blackwood.
Avion's had a great game.
He's come very far this year. I think he came on towards the end of last season for them, and then Coach Sherman kind of saw what he could give them in their football team. It looks like number 56 for Jefferson is the injured player for them, Keem.
So that is a lineman.
Yeah, I think
Jefferson
cramps.
And Jefferson definitely can't afford to lose any of their linemen because their linemen are starting to play very well.
Yeah. Well, and playing the line is one position that you really work as a unit. I mean, you 5 up front, you build that relationship and rapport with each other just playing every play. So losing one component, it's hard to bring somebody in there and have to step up and do something that they're not doing like that starter is.
So you have the sophomore Noah Bajent come in for the Jefferson Cougars. And Jefferson's line is definitely very young. You have a lot of freshmen and sophomore playing on that line. And you know that obviously with some time in the weight room, those players will get better. But today, it wasn't the physicality of the line that has set Martinsburg apart from Jefferson. It's actually been 4 or 5 big plays.
I mean, it's the big plays. Yeah,
it's been the big
you
plays.
You hit it right on the head right there. It's the big plays, man.
So we have a 1st and 10 for Jefferson. Moses Talley.
Get your head around.
On the seam.
I thought he
and
caught
the
it.
one-handed grab attempt for Isaiah Fritz.
You know, he made a one-handed catch the last time we did a game here, didn't he, Keem? Against Sharando.
Yes.
A great one-handed catch.
Actually, I think it ended up being number 4.
Yeah.
Metro News.
Oh, yeah. Man. I mean, he's a great player, too. Isaiah Fritz. Let's see.
Isaiah Fritz is definitely one of the fastest guys in the state of West Virginia. I mean, Jefferson has a track team, but it has to transition to the field.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. That's what the community wants to see. That's what everybody wants to see. And right now, you know, they seem pretty dangerous with Moses Talley.
Got 5 seconds.
You see some great arm talent from Moses Talley.
Oh yeah, he can throw the football. See, but that's the offensive line needs to give him time. That's the downfall.
Yeah. And that's Xerxes.
So you don't want to see that, and I'm surprised the refs didn't throw something there.
And that's Xerxes Yancey right there with another sack.
Yeah, but
So we have 3rd and 15 for Jefferson at the Jefferson 37-yard line with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Now, like I said, the game has gotten a little edgy.
Yes.
You know, we've seen a couple things extracurricular after the play.
These players obviously know these refs aren't afraid to throw flags, man. So just keep it clean. Just keep playing football. Ooh.
Yeah.
Good defense, Buzz.
And it's great defense. And we'll have a 15-yard penalty.
Ooh.
But the thing is, though, right now, Talley has not had enough chances to be able to sit back and read the field. Martinsburg's gotten so much pressure.
Yeah.
Martinsburg's gotten so much pressure on him that he hasn't had time to really set his feet.
He's got a great arm, though. He definitely does. Is he a baseball kid as well? Or no baseball.
But you just see the type of zip that he has on his passes. It's different. It's different from what we've seen. Actually, from both quarterbacks, Ezra is more. You know, Ezra reminds me of Drew Brees.
Yeah, small in stature.
He reminds you of
makes
Drew
good
Brees.
Decisions. Yeah,
he makes a good decision, but he puts the passes in pinpoint positions.
Accurate. Yeah, he's
very
accurate.
Moses can just make every single throw, and there's nowhere on the field that he can't attack.
Yeah.
But you know, obviously, you really want to make sure that they maintain touch as well.
Let's see what we have here.
So
looks like they're about to double team Powell here, maybe. Or
yeah, they actually have someone over top of him right now. And that's a great play by Keyshawn Robinson. And Keyshawn Robinson, if he's leaving.
Oh,
he is
good
tackled
play
at
by
the
number
4-yard line, and we see a penalty on the field.
And we have another person down.
Another penalty is on the field.
Looks like Jameer Hunter might be down. That's not a good sign for the Bulldogs.
It's another penalty on the field. And we'll actually take a quick commercial break as there's another injury on the field for Martinsburg. It is 42-7. Martinsburg, Home Team Sports TV.
Looks like he's.
And we are back. And there will be a 15-yard penalty after that play. That Jefferson. So Jefferson had the ball at the 4-yard line. They got a 15-yard penalty. So now it will be 1st and 10 from the 16. So maybe it was a half the distance to the goal type of penalty, which
I can't.
So actually it'd be a touchdown Jefferson. And right now it seems like the lack of composure is on all sides. And right now, Craig Hunter is livid because he is wondering where the penalty came from. Because the referee that actually called that penalty was running down the field. He was like 15 yards down the field when he called that penalty.
I'm a little confused on what exactly happened. What did they call?
So, you really want to see the refs be able to get control of this game as well.
Yeah.
Because honestly, Brandon, have you seen a game have this many penalties? I think we might be. I mean, we have close to 40 penalties.
Well, we have to be closing in on. I don't know about
30.
a state record, but this is definitely in their 48 matchups. This has to be a record. I mean,
it's been.
I know we had 16 at one point in the first half.
So we had 12 after the first 8 plays.
Yeah, we're
and it hasn't slowed down. It hasn't slowed down since. So now you have a 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line with 3 minutes left in the third quarter. You really want to see this game. Like, I want to see one clean quarter.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had one. Yeah, it's bad.
So 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line.
We're definitely running on Monday, Keem. I know that much.
So you have 2 wide receivers to the right, 2 wide receivers to the left. Moses Talley will take it. And he throws the ball to Isaiah Fritz.
Good catch.
And touchdown, Isaiah Fritz.
Give your athletes chances.
But what did I tell you about Moses Talley?
It looks like he's hurt too.
Who, Fritz?
Yeah, man.
But you see the way he jammed his leg into the ground?
Yeah, he made a great play on the football.
So it's a touchdown for Jefferson.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Isaiah
he's up.
Fritz,
He is up and good to go. So that's awesome.
And that's amazing because Isaiah battled injuries last year.
And it looks like Coach Hunter is still going at it with this ref down here.
So the score is 42-13 with 2 minutes and 51 seconds left in the third quarter.
Coach Hunter is on the field again. I think he is going, him and this ref are getting into it maybe.
So it is 42-13 with 2 minutes and 51 seconds left. Jefferson with the 16-yard touchdown pass from Moses Talley to Isaiah Fritz.
Yeah. And that they need to go ahead and just build that confidence as an offense to really let them know that they can make those plays. Even in, when the game's not going their way, they're still pushing and they're still going 100%.
But with these wide receivers, you see that Moses Talley has made them an explosive offense. So if Moses Talley has to play for the remainder of this game or the season, if Herrick, a great block by Martinsburg, but if Herrick can't come back, you see Jefferson's not skipping a beat.
Yeah. Well, and like I just said, this just gives you that confidence and, edge that you can put those points on the board because they do have the athletes. And obviously we see that Moses has the arm strength. So I'm very impressed by him to know that, Goins started at the beginning of the year and then you got Herrick. And now he's in there making plays. So that's awesome for Jefferson.
And it's a different type of play call. With Moses, it's more a pocket pass. I can attack any part of the field. With Herrick, he can throw the ball like anywhere on the field, but he also can use his feet. So we have Jefferson 42, Martinsburg 13, 2 minutes and 51 seconds left in the third quarter.
Looks like they're going to switch the referees on the sideline.
So we're actually, seeing some adjustments in the referee crew.
Yeah.
That's definitely amazing. Have you ever seen anything like that during the game? So I'd like to thank our sponsors. Our title sponsor, Neil Powell at Down Home Insurance, Sundays Tanning, Key Property Management, VFW Post 3522, HG's Barbecue and Soul Food Catering, Quintez McDonald Gibson at Integrity Home Mortgage, Chris Page at Quality Lawn Care, L&L's Handyman Services, Money Mar Training, Catro Law, Cheryl Yates of ERA Realty, Shelton Tree Services, Our Handyman Service, and B Attitudes Hair and Beauty Supply, and Martinsburg with the amazing
Jameer Hunter. He's a
punt
playmaker,
return
man.
And
He's a playmaker.
He's leaving. Touchdown,
Playmaker, man.
Jameer Hunter. And just like how
No flags, right?
I don't see flags.
We got to check now.
But just
Great
how
play, though.
Just how you don't want to see Jefferson's kick returns get the ball.
Yeah.
You definitely don't want to see Jameer Hunter get the ball as well.
He's explosive, man. He showed that week in and week out. You know, he's going to be a big part of their success come playoff time.
And you know, just like how the last 2 years, Martinsburg really hasn't kicked the ball deep to the Jefferson. You're going to see teams around the state when they play against Martinsburg avoid number 10.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. He's one of those kids that you don't want to give him more touches than what Coach Sherman's already going to give him. So I definitely wouldn't kick it to him, man.
So you see Martinsburg's
they're gonna
offense.
they're going to go for 2.
So they're actually going to go for 2, up 48-13.
A quick little heavy package. Zion, good play.
And it play is snuffed
by
out.
Number 2, right?
And that to me,
play,
I love
man.
to see that. And that's a little bit of edge from Jefferson because right there, you're up 35 points.
Keep
and
playing.
You're going for 2. You know, that right there is you're not gonna do us like this.
No, you need to keep playing and keep going hard.
So
let Martinsburg know that you're not going to quit.
Yeah,
there's no quit.
You're not going to quit because this is not even just for this year. This is for going forward.
Yeah,
that we're saying that hey, we here.
Yeah.
You know, right now, we might be, and I'm talking from the Jefferson sideline. You know, we might be, losing by 35 points, but we're going to fight. You know, the game was a little bit slightly out of hand early.
Mm-hmm.
No, correct. The game got slightly out of hand, but Jefferson has continued to fight. They put points on the board. The last 2 possessions have been very productive offensive possessions, and right now, Martinsburg has they have asserted, who they are. They're a very good team.
They are, yeah.
But Jefferson, you have to continue to compete, continue to put good film out there because, like we stated earlier, Brandon, this game could potentially be a playoff matchup.
Yeah.
If Martinsburg gets a 3 or 4 seed and Jefferson gets an 8 or 9 seed, they might match up at some point. You never know.
Yeah.
So you have to continue to compete and see what works, what might not work, so you can make those adjustments for the next time that you see each other.
Well, and as Jefferson knows that Martinsburg is the premier football team in the state, so just doing positive things against them helps build that energy and influence and just that positive energy for the kids to know that they can still compete against these guys. Number 14.
And that's Jackson. That's the quarterback. That's a freshman quarterback, Jackson Rockwell.
He plays quarterback as well?
Yes. He's
got a quarterback room over there, don't they? He's returning kicks.
But he's an athlete.
Yeah.
This kid is an athlete. He just transferred in from Berkeley Springs.
I want to say that's where Clement came from too. So Berkeley Springs
got some. They got some dogs up there.
Him and Hudson. So
yeah, Berkeley Springs got some dogs up there. But for a freshman and to go back there and to be able to return that punt, that man, I tell you what, but that kid's gonna be something. Rockwell's gonna be something. I don't know what position he's gonna play. I don't know if he's always gonna be a quarterback. I don't know what they got going, but wherever he's gonna be at, he's gonna be a stud. And the ball is behind Tally, and he has to make sure.
Oh man!
And that could have. He's lucky that didn't become a safety. But yeah,
that hurts, man.
Well, essentially, Brandon. Obviously the ball got snapped over his head, but you get a touchdown, and then you get the extra point blocked, and then after that they run back the kickoff return.
Well, and that's where Martinsburg really they make you pay whenever you have plays like that, the negative plays. I could see Coach Hash going ahead and just sending a blitz here to try to get the pressure on him.
And once again, a fumble, and it would be a safety, and it would be 50-13, and 2 straight plays.
Another flag as well.
So there'll be a flag on the play, so we'll wait to see. Illegal touching, so it'll still be a safety. So it'll be 50-13 for Martinsburg. In that possession, you have 2 plays, a snap that goes over his head and a snap that goes between his legs. And, you just want to see crisp play, but you really want to see both teams finish this game out strong.
Yeah, and clean. I mean, And it looks like is Toole injured, man? He's looking a little gimpy too, Keem. So
he's
Jefferson,
been a warrior.
They need to get out of here healthy.
Yeah.
At this point,
because next week they have a very, very difficult matchup versus Hedgesville.
Okay.
And Faircloth
is it here or there?
It's in Hedgesville. Faircloth has Hedgesville playing very confident.
He does
right now.
Yeah, he does. He makes them work hard, and
he does. So the score, 50-13. With 2 minutes and 19 seconds left in the third quarter.
They're going to kick it or punt it, I wonder.
Well, last week,
we
actually seen them kick off. I remember back in the old, I keep saying the old days, but I remember back, you had to punt it.
Yeah. They changed it a little bit now. But it looks like he is going to punt.
He is going to punt.
We'll see what kind of leg he has right here. He has no pressure. He should be able to boot it here.
And they're actually going to let Alejandro Martinez.
Oh, they're actually going to kick it off. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He does have a strong leg too, though. So
you see initially, so let's see if he can do the same thing that Martinsburg did earlier. Remember, the kicker booted it through the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
So
they only have 10. Yeah, there you go.
And they send a freshman. Send a freshman on the field. Ricardo.
Damn. Yeah. Dang. They actually were missing 2 people. We had 9 on the field.
So you have a lot of injuries right now.
Yeah, you gotta fill those spots fast. Good kick. Jameer, don't kick it to him again. Did he?
He actually stayed in bounds.
He stayed in bounds. You don't want to kick it to him again, man.
And another kick return by Jameer Hunter.
Oh my goodness.
And he is gone. And 2 kick returns in a row.
So yeah, let's not kick it to him anymore, right, man? And he just shows what kind of explosive athlete he is.
That is amazing.
So to score 14 points, and not touch the football on offense, that's awesome.
Side of the ball.
Yeah, that's good. That doesn't get any better than that.
And the score is 56-13, Martinsburg Bulldogs.
And they're just doing it in all 3 phases at this point, Keem.
What do they call them? Special ops? Is that what
special forces.
Special forces?
Yeah, he calls them special forces, and they take pride in that, man. I know when I was playing, Sherman was the special teams coach, so he always takes pride in that, and he is. Shout out Coach Sherman, man, because he's taken that program and really hasn't missed a beat. So he's definitely doing his job over there.
Well, and essentially too, it's keeping the intensity up.
Yes.
They want, as much as Jefferson wants to continue to compete and learn some things that they could use going forward to be able to play against this team, Martinsburg also wants to be able to squash any kind of confidence that you have.
Oh, yeah. Well, and they want, at this point, they're going to get their young kids a lot of experience and see what their young kids can do against a Jefferson squad. So,
and the score is 57-13 with 2 minutes left and 7 seconds. And in that play right there, you guys can go back and watch this game on Home Team Sports TV. Hunter, actually, that ball was about to go out of bounds.
I thought he stepped out.
That ball was about to go out of bounds.
Yeah,
he literally caught the ball. He tiptoed to stay in bounds. And even in tiptoeing, he had enough acceleration to be able to accelerate, get to the other side of the field, and essentially he ran in on the end zone on the same way he did the touchdown.
Hey, I think he might be giving Mr. Ezra Bajan a little run for his money and player of the game, man. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the way they're both playing, we haven't seen Ezra too much this second half. We've seen a lot of Jameer, though. I mean, two kickoffs.
To be completely honest, we haven't had to see a lot of Ezra.
Yeah. But let's see what we're going to do here.
They're going to kick the ball deep.
Yeah.
Pooch kick.
Number 14 again. Let's see.
Back to Rockwell. Rockwell takes the ball up. He gets to the outside.
Don't get the outside. Good play.
And he gets out of bounds. But you see, when he gets the ball, there's a level of excitement.
Yeah, he has some explosiveness, man. To be a freshman, right?
To be a freshman.
Yeah. So, and again, Hunter looks like he's going to go ahead and get his young kids some experience as well. So,
and just like you said, Jefferson is 5-2 right now. 7-3 firmly puts you into a pretty good playoff spot.
Oh yeah.
So you definitely don't want to have any injuries.
No.
Like game right now, score 57-13 with 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
obviously you fight to the end, but you
Like
don't want to lose. You don't want to lose your good players right now.
Get out of here healthy, man. Get out of here a full roster spot. That's what we need. That is what we need.
So you have a pistol formation. You have twins to both sides. Moses Talley with the handoff to Evan Toole. Evan Toole breaks it outside. And a strong run by Evan Toole and a tackle by Murphy Clement.
Good tackle.
And it'd be a gain of 6.
And that's something that, Evan Toole is another offensive threat for Jefferson too. So,
and he has battled in this game right
he's
here.
Hurt too, King.
Evan is playing through so much pain. He's a warrior.
Yeah, toughness. He's showing toughness.
So we'll have a 2nd and 3 at the 36-yard line with 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Another inside handoff to Evan Toole. And he is stuffed. But it'll be
play.
He'll be short by an inch.
E.J. Hendricks, man, I'm telling you, he's a player for the Martinsburg Bulldogs as well.
And the first down, Cougars. And I've actually seen him be very demonstrative today.
Yeah.
So this is a game that you could tell that he was excited about as well.
He comes ready to play. He really does.
But the thing about it is both teams had enough respect for each other that they actually did come into this game with that rivalry feel.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You've seen the emotion. You've seen the energy.
We talked about it. This really is the rivalry around here. I mean, both teams go into this game relatively the top teams in the state. So
they're definitely 2 of the top teams in the EPAC. Definitely one of the top 16 teams in the state.
Most of the time,
you'll see both of these teams competing in November. But I want to talk about Evan Toole right now. I mean, we've seen him limping. We've seen him grabbing multiple parts of his body, but he's still in there running hard. The last 3 runs, he's gotten 16 yards rushing.
Let this run down. Yeah. Let it run down, snap it, and then let's get to the fourth quarter.
We have 2 receivers to the left side, single receiver to the right.
Oh.
And that right there was a deep slant. So we're seeing a deep slant, but you gotta get the ball down.
But that came down to the pressure that Aiden Fleming, number 70 from Martinsburg Bulldogs, just put on, Moses. So it's hard to really follow through on your throw when you've got a defensive lineman standing right there in your face, man.
The quarterbacks haven't had a lot of time to be able to set their feet and read the field. So Martinsburg, with their pressure from the linemen, have essentially made Jefferson's quarterbacks one read.
Yeah, and that's the beauty. I'm not a big fan of the cover zero, but that is the beauty of running a cover zero because you can really blitz and put pressure on the quarterback.
And you run a cover zero because you feel like your cornerbacks can cover.
My athletes are better than your athletes. Yep.
But see right there, and right there, you really need your quarterback to be able to set their feet and be able to make that make that play right
Looks
there.
Looks like he's hurting too, King.
These last 2-3 plays, Hendricks, Fleming. I don't think Yancey is even in right now.
No, he's not. He's not.
But you think about it.
It's like we're going. Oh.
Look at that line. Look at your defensive line. You get the pressure from Xerxes Yancey.
Yeah.
You get pressure from Aiden Fleming. You get pressure from E.J. Hendricks. If you don't need to blitz to get pressure, you watch that in the NFL, all week. Those teams with elite front fours that are able to put pressure. Look at Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle was able to be the Legion of Boom because their front four put pressure where they could actually play that zone.
Yeah.
And they could play different coverages that allowed Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas and them to look, elite.
Another penalty.
Yeah.
Another penalty.
It's like the 40th penalty of the game today. So we will have Jefferson punting on 4th and 11 with 6.1 seconds left in the third quarter. Let's see if he punts the ball away from both of those returners. And actually, he did. That's a great bounce.
I wasn't sure if he was going to go ahead and get it.
So at the end of 3, we have the Martinsburg Bulldogs 57, the Jefferson Cougars 13. This is Akeem Holmes and Brandon Ashenfelter from Home Team Sports TV. We'll be right back after a commercial break.
Meet Cheryl Yates at ERA Liberty Realty. With over 30 years of experience, Cheryl provides each of her clients with the best level of customer service, along with helping families with the next phase of their life. The buying and selling process comes natural to Cheryl, as her understanding of the housing market allows her the ability to answer any questions that may arise. With offices in both Jefferson and Berkeley counties, she works hard to ensure the outcome you deserve. Cheryl is the key to selling or buying your home.
And we are back at Shandor Junction, where we have the Jefferson Cougars and the Martinsburg Bulldogs doing action. Martinsburg leading the Jefferson Cougars 57-13. And we have just gotten the stats. There is 27 penalties in this game. First and 10, and we actually have Ezra still in the ball
game.
Another
screen to Buzz, man. He's another athlete. He is another athlete, man.
And Martinsburg is blocking those screen plays very, very effectively.
Well, and see, that's one good thing about Martinsburg is their receivers, for the most part, I know receivers can get lazy when they're not getting the football, but for the most part, their receivers block whenever they don't get the ball. So that makes everything a lot better, because then your receiver, if you're catching the ball, they're going to block for you. So it's a team effort over there.
We haven't seen Cassius Gideon today.
No, and I was going to say that earlier. I'm not sure. I don't see him on the sideline either.
And that's a great play by Quentin Goins. So it'll be a 2nd and 11.
I think I see him over there. He might be hurt. King. I think he's over there in street clothes.
Yeah, and you know, football is definitely, you know, a very physical game. So obviously, you know, in these situations, you know, you don't want to see, you know, these players get injured so close to the playoffs. But I was definitely looking forward to seeing the sophomore. I mean, Martinsburg has so many weapons.
They really do. They have a lot of athletes, man. They really do, and that's what makes them so good.
So we have a third and 2 with Martinsburg at the Jefferson 44-yard line, the 45-yard line. So 3rd and 3. Martinsburg leading 57-13 with 10 minutes and 27 seconds left.
A big stop here.
What do you want to see from Martinsburg in this possession? Do you want to see them say, okay, let's work on some things going forward, or is this one of those things, this is a robbery game and I'm going for the kill?
Well, I mean, they have one substitution on offense, but for the most part, they still have their starters in there. So we'll see. And they're going to get number 17 the ball, who is another very fast player for Martinsburg. So I think he's a track dude as well. So
yeah, and that was a little jump pass. Tim Tebow.
Little Tim Tebow, yeah.
That was definitely Tebow-esque right there.
Well, see, and that's something else that Martinsburg, they have a lot of depth as well, where number 17 can come in and give you, you know, some spare minutes here and there.
Yeah, and these players are going to be very essential to their future as well. You know, you're going to lose some essential pieces. Obviously, look at their two best players today have been seniors, Ezra Bajan and Hunter. So,
but 24.
And see, they blocked that play again. Speed, but there is a penalty on. There's a penalty on the field, so that's going to come back.
That's on EJ.
Yeah, that's going to come back. So we're going to be a personal foul on number 75, EJ Hendricks, and that's going to be a spot foul as well. But Martinsburg has found some success blocking in these wide receiver screens. So we have 8 minutes and 57 seconds left. The quarter's moving a little bit faster than that last third quarter.
Yeah.
That third quarter, you know, we were talking to some of our
they called an ineligible man downfield.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But we were talking to some of our cohorts up in the booth, and that third quarter had to last at least around 45 minutes.
It seemed long, man.
So it'll be a 15-yard penalty on Martinsburg High School. So we will actually have a 1st and 25 from the 42-yard line.
Now let's see what they do here. If they're just going to go ahead and run it. or if they're going to take a shot. You never know.
You
know
never
Coach
know.
Sherman.
And, Jefferson's done a good job in shutting down Clement. But the other athletes on Martinsburg, continue to make great plays.
Yeah.
So remember early we seen a lot of motion with Clement, and we felt like that was going to be an integral part of Martinsburg's offensive game plan.
Yeah.
But once Jefferson kind of shut down their initial game plan, they went to Plan B, and Plan B has been
and that's
outstanding.
That's what's Martinsburg's been a little spoiled over the years because they have so many athletes just everywhere. So
another wide receiver screen.
Number 24, he's got some burst to him.
He has some burst.
He really does.
But Jefferson has covered that play a little bit better than they'd have the last 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
A little bit more hats to the ball. And that's how you had to stop a screen. You had to stop a screen by swarming. And also, those
Flowing
plays
to the
are
football.
Flowing to the football. But obviously, too, that was a screen to the short side of the field, too. So using those boundaries, using that sideline as a boundary defender.
Like the freshman's going to get some play here, King. Jacobs from Martinsburg. Number 23 here.
Okay, so they put the freshman.
Yeah, you're going to give the freshman some burn,
Jacobs.
Man. And this is
Former
big moments
Wildwood
for them,
Mustang.
man. This is big moments for those freshmen, man.
And his mother, Slinky Jacobs, is on the staff. So I know he's excited to be able to see. She's excited to be able to see him on the field. But it looks like it might be a delay of game.
Oh, my God. Another penalty. 28.
So that's
29.
That's penalty 29 of the game.
This has, I don't know, state record. Is it? We're going to have to check, man. We're going to have to ask the right people.
So we have Tyon Jacobs and 3 wide receivers to the right-hand side. We have a single receiver to the left.
Let's go ahead and
as a with the screen.
And ran into his
honestly, his alignment tripped, which kind of threw off the timing of the play.
Yeah.
So we will have a 4th down
and I wonder if this
20.
Is 4th down territory. Do we go for it, Sherman, or are we just going to?
I see him going for it. Have they played yet today? I don't think Martinsburg's playing today.
Not one. They're going to go ahead and get some other linemen in here.
So it's 4th and 20.
See, in this moment, I'm just going to say, hey, I'm going to get this freshman some shot. I'm going to take a shot.
Yeah, but he's
shot.
being covered by Taysom Roper. They actually went deep on Oren Humphrey. It's a great catch.
Good catch. Good ball, Ezra.
And look at that pass.
Ezra Bajan, man. He's got some pinpoint accuracy, and I think that's what separates him. We talked about earlier his decision making, but that pass, man. Great catch by number 24 too. That was over the shoulder. He put it right where it needed to be, but that's still not
and the freshman, and the sophomore Corey Fagan is in the game now. So after that play,
get Ezra out of there. Yeah, we don't need to see any more of him.
Man,
get him on the bench. Let's go into healthy next week.
Ezra,
and I like seeing Fagan.
Ezra might have only had 2 incomplete passes.
Yeah,
he's had a very efficient game.
He really has.
So it'll be 1st and goal from the Jefferson 6-yard line. A running back quarterback
touchdown.
Power.
Good run, young man. It's touchdown. Good run.
And a touchdown for the Martinsburg Bulldogs. The score is 63 to 13. And I tell you what, Sherman didn't want to put this freshman in a bad spot. He got him a good chunk yard on that 4th down. And then he let the sophomore, Corey Fagan, quarterback Power, touchdown Bulldogs.
And you like seeing that with the young kids. Just putting them in the game and seeing that they're still going to compete as well. This is where you really see what you have in those younger kids. These moments are whenever they get their film together, and then you go in and evaluate them in the offseason. So.
Yeah, and honestly, you also get them that experience.
Oh, yeah.
At this level. Playing varsity ball, you come in fresh versus varsity players that have been banging for the last 3 quarters, so you get to steal a little bit.
I used to love, man, when I was a sophomore, used to play a little middle linebacker, got to get in end of the game, receiver and stuff like that. So I loved it.
But, the game started off, it was highly competitive. But remember we talked about it, right? Same thing happened with Musselman. Highly competitive early. But once, Martinsburg made some adjustments, they took the game over.
Well,
but what makes it even more, what makes it a little bit different as well, and obviously they can't do that, against, Hurricane and Parkersburg South and Spring Valley. But they actually overcame so many penalties tonight.
Yeah. I mean, we're closing in on 30, but, I just think Martinsburg, we talked about it in the pregame a little bit, they really try every week to beat you in all three phases. And when they are successful with that, that's what really hurts you as the opposing team.
Well, Hunter took the air out of the sails because when the score is 42-13, Jefferson just scored a touchdown. They gained a little bit of confidence. The next thing you know, Jameer Hunter
fumble.
Next thing you know, Jameer Hunter runs back two straight kickoffs, and the game was over.
That right
that
there,
point.
Those two were the dagger. I mean, you have that happen. That just the morale on the sideline. It's obviously down, and it's hard to come back from that. But we still see kids competing, so that's the good thing about it.
And in years past, you seen kids kind of, shy away a little bit. Yeah. But, like Musselman and some of these teams in the EPAC, they're not winning. Well, they're not shying away from, from playing against this, such a good team. But I will also, right now I want to take the time to thank our staff. Producer Harry Brown.
The man.
The man,
the man,
myth,
right there.
the legend.
Yeah.
Harry Brown, my co-host.
Hey.
Brandon Ashenfelter, man. I love doing games with you.
I appreciate you guys having me, man.
Shalinka Jacobs, obviously, you have a kid playing, but you came out here today and, you gave your time and effort. Kevin Brewster, we call him Brew. For manning the camera, and I'm going to toot my own horn. My son.
Hey. Oh yeah, he's on the sideline.
I'm going to toot my horn.
Hey,
my boy's on the sideline killing it today.
Yes, he is.
Janadia Miramad.
Shout out to him.
I'm so proud of you.
Shout out to him.
But thank you to everyone who made this possible. Home Team Sports, TV. We are home team.
Yeah.
We are here to stay. We are for everyone. We are for the whole EPAC.
Yeah.
And
the community, man.
Just how much we love our community. We're grateful that you guys tuned in tonight and watched this game on Home Team Sports TV.
Yes.
Next week we'll be covering the Washington versus Hampshire game, and then we will have the Civil War.
Yeah.
The Washington versus Jefferson High School, Jefferson County Civil War. For anyone who loves watching middle school sports, next Saturday we will have the Wildwood Mustangs versus the Harpers Ferry Tigers, competing for the Jefferson County
very competitive game. Last game too. Very competitive.
Yeah. So we will have a final score: man. The Martinsburg Bulldogs 63 and the Jefferson Cougars 13. We will take a quick commercial break and come back with our post-game show. From Home Team Sports TV, live from Shenandoah Junction.
Cheryl Yates at ERA Liberty Realty. With over 30 years of experience, Cheryl provides each of her clients with the best level of customer service, along with helping families with the next phase of their life. The buying and selling process comes natural to Cheryl, as her understanding of the housing market allows her the ability to answer any questions that may arise. With offices in both Jefferson and Berkeley counties, she works hard to ensure the outcome you deserve. Cheryl is the key to selling or buying your home.
This is Quintez McDonald Gibson from Integrity Home Mortgage. Come join the winning team today.
Juwan is the ultimate hype guy. I love him. He's always positive. He's always pepping them up and firing them up.
Come on, Parker, work, Parker, work, Parker, work, 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 work.
Welcome back. This is Brandon Ashenfelter back with Home Team Sports. We had the final of 63-13. Akeem is down on the field now getting our player of the game, so once they get up here, we'll interview him with a couple of questions. But great atmosphere tonight. We're seeing the and I think here we have Ezra Bajent coming in the player of the game, man. How you doing, boss?
Doing great. How are you?
Get you headsets, man. Well, first off, young man, great game. Great game again. Yes, sir. So first question is, how does a game like this feel going into next week and in the playoffs?
I was really excited going to this game because all my friends are on Jefferson.
Yeah.
I'm from here. We was talking a lot of trash. It was showing on the field. I got a unsportsmanlike penalty.
Oh, you got one of those?
Yeah, whenever I was running by my cousin, said a few words.
Oh, okay. A little family love.
Yes, sir.
Hey, well, we got to go into practice and clean up those penalties, though, man.
Yeah,
Both sides,
for
right?
Sure.
Both sides.
100%.
But, hey, great game, 4 touchdowns. I don't think there was many completions. 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think
Am
it was
wrong?
5.
Okay, correct me. Hey, correct me if
yes,
I'm wrong,
yes,
man.
Sir. Yep.
Yes, sir, young man. Hey, well, again, great game. How do you guys think you're going to play in the playoffs, man?
I think we're going to play real good. I think that this week we had a great practice, and everybody's starting to really buy in and get shit right.
Yeah, it's right, man, and it's time to really make sure that you guys lock in. And as a leader, you need to make sure that everybody is locked in at all times because it's playoff time.
Yes, sir.
You know, so Martinsburg needs to, come ready every week. All right, great game, though. Great game.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Player of the game.
had to go get the player of the game, Ezra Bajan.
Yeah, man, 5 touchdowns. He corrected me. I thought it was 4.
You know, I actually relived my errand boy days where I had to run down in the field.
You know, those bleachers are steep too, man.
Hey, man, you know, getting old, so it was actually good for me to be able to get a little bit of exercise in here.
It was a great broadcast again, man.
We definitely had a great broadcast. You know, definitely, you know, love working with you.
Yeah.
Martinsburg came in here and they handled business.
Man, did they?
63-13 victory over Jefferson High School. And look at this right here. We see one of the Martinsburg players out there, you know, with the band.
Yeah, helping clean up equipment. I think they are in the band, actually. They do.
And that's amazing to be able to see kids, you know, play football and then go out there with their band, you know, bandmates, and perform in front of the staff and the school.
Awesome,
but, you know, pertaining to the game, we've seen pinpoint accuracy from Ezra Bajan tonight. He put so many great passes right on the money.
Yeah. I think we saw
even though Jefferson had pretty good coverage on on a lot of those plays. So it was difficult slightly because Hunter had such a great second half, but the totality of the game, you know, Ezra Bajan dominated the game.
He really did.
So that allowed Martinsburg, you know, to have the extra juice. They had all the big plays. They was able to contain those track stars.
I'm amazed that we actually have 3 Martinsburg football players.
Xerxes Yancey's out there as well.
Number 17's right here too. I mean, this is awesome to see, King. You know, kids go from playing the sport of football to, you know, doing a performance in the band. But back to the game though, like you said, Ezra, I think he showed just how smart his decision making is with the football, and that he can make those throws. And like we talked about, his name is considered with not only the top players in the EPAC, but top players in the state.
Yes,
and he's having a great senior year.
And what it says too is just the level of comfort he has.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, when your dad is as confident as he is, and you get it from him, you just, if you see it every day, obviously you carry that. So.
But the fact that he's not coming off the field,
yeah,
we've gotten to see
it's that rhythm. So
yeah, we've gotten to see who Ezra Bajan really is now. When he's allowed to play a full game and really take control of his offense.
Yeah, and I think he really proved that today, that they can spread the ball around. They have 4 great receivers, a couple coming off the bench that have some speed as well. And that they do have some threats at running back too, because Zion's coming in. He's really putting it together at the right time. I mean, his senior year is, I mean, it's exceptional to go from, you know, playing JV last year to playing a little bit of quarterback here and there on JV, and then having this senior campaign. So I'm excited the way he does, to see what he does in the playoffs.
And that's what you really want to see. You want to see those kids, you know, compete at this next level. And once you get to the playoffs and these teams are